Experience.
Pat Mayo Experience. Pat Mayo Experience. Pat Mayo Experience. Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience, presented by DraftKings. Smash a like, sub to the channel, and if you want more of this in your life, I highly recommend that you subscribe, rate, and review to the CUST Corner exclusive audio podcast feed to catch up on all your favorites. But for now, another edition of CUST Corner.
CUST Corner, it's CUST Corner. CUST Corner, it's CUST Corner. He's got the hottest takes with the highest stakes. He should be president of the United States, but it's CUST Corner, it's CUST Corner. CUST Corner.
I don't know why people tell me I can't have a dream home, that I should just give up on it, that I have aspirations. I should just resign myself to some small little house in suburbia and just accept that I can't have all the things that I want. You know, people are always told to chase their dreams and dream big and think big, but not me. I'm being told not to believe in these things. I can't have what I want.
Who told you that you couldn't have it?
Many people. You were on that text thread. Well,
I was. That's why I'm asking you.
You
Not a
can't
single
have
person
that.
said that you couldn't have it. What people were telling you was this costs way more than you think it does.
Well, only if you get contractors to do all the work.
So if you do all the work yourself, it will
I
be
could
fine?
do some of it.
Like what? Give us a rundown of the stuff you're going to do in your dream home to build it.
I think I could do the drywalling. I think I could do the painting. I think I could put in the crown molding. I think I could, if it's just laying bricks in a driveway, I could do that. It's one
For your
brick in
heated
another
driveway, by the way, which means you would
Yes.
need to do the electricity on it first.
Oh no, electricity is something I have no skill with. I would have to.
You don't have skill with this other shit either, but you're going to be doing it.
I could do that. No, but not.
When was the last time you laid brick, Tim?
Never, but I can figure it out.
Okay.
Trial and error. I can figure it out.
When was the last time you did drywall?
I've assisted with drywall.
What is that?
Done.
Okay, run us down on what assisting with drywall.
Drive to the store to buy the drywall sheets. To bring it into the house. Watch as they trace out the hole for where the electrical outlet is, and cut it with the saw, and then put it up against the wall and screw it into the studs. I've seen it done.
So what you say? So in this experience of laying drywall, you're a delivery driver.
No, I was there and watched and assisted my uncle as he put stuff up on the walls and watched how he did it. Would it take me time? Yeah, sure. But could I do the drywalling? Absolutely. Could I do the painting? Absolutely. Could I do some of the landscaping? Yeah, absolutely. Could I assist putting stuff together? Absolutely. Some of the stuff I couldn't do. I couldn't plumb. I couldn't do electricity. I get that. But, I'm just saying I could cut down on some of the costs. And I don't want that much. I want a sunroom. I want a drive-up driveway that's a circle driveway with a gate, a big gate in front of it. I want a fully stocked kitchen. I want a walk-in pantry. I want a ballroom. I want a library. I want bedrooms that have en-suites. I want there to be a grand staircase, and I want there to be parquet floors. That's what I want. These are other than that, everything else to me, the details can be all worked out. Oh, and a separate dining room. Essential to have a separate dining room.
No one has ever built that house and done the work themselves.
I don't know that that's true.
No, I mean,
Some of the
who
work
can
myself.
afford that house are not laying brick on their driveway.
Tim told us this was all going to be under $1 million.
I think I could do it under $1 million.
You are so stupid.
It's like a $10 million home.
Maybe you have no idea what things are. What sort of appliances are in your kitchen?
Well, I'm not going to have bad appliances. I'm going to have top of the line appliances.
That's what I mean. Do you know what a top of the line stove and fridge cost?
I do.
$500-$600 probably for the stove. Another $500-$600 for the fridge.
Oh my God. Do you know what a Sub-Zero or a fridge? It's like $10,000, $7,000.
No way.
A Mealy stove is like $15,000. I'm telling you, top of the line. You said you want it.
$15,000.
Yeah, those.
Okay, well then I guess I'm
knobs.
not. Okay, well then maybe we're not going to do top of the line. Then maybe we're going to do middle of the line.
It's middle of the line. You said $500.
Yeah, well, just a stove that heats with an element. and that's the oven. And a stove top that I prefer induction tops. So like just induction heat tops and something simple to clean. Microwave that doesn't have too many complicated buttons to confuse people.
Stainless steel? What?
Oh yeah, gotta have stainless steel.
$500.
Yeah.
Tim, I was just looking because we're planning on we're going to redo our kitchen. We're going to get one of the double ovens, so you can cook multiple things at one
I like
time.
that idea. I like that idea.
That's a good idea, right? Yeah. When I started budgeting everything out, that a middle tier one of those is $10,000.
You could get seasons
$500.
You get like seasons tickets to the I was gonna say you get season tickets to the Maple Leafs for the cost of like these ovens.
All right, well then I'll have to go middle of the road then for the ovens. That's not essential. I just want a really nice house. I mean, why shouldn't I have nice stuff?
Okay.
No one said that you can't have nice stuff, but what you've pointed out is like just the cost alone of building. Like, how big is this house? It sounds like it's 20,000 square feet.
Yeah, see, the thing is, I don't know how big things are, so that number means nothing to me.
You have a ballroom in this house.
Like, which house? Like, give us a movie, and like that's the size of the house.
He's living in the fucking house from Clue.
Yeah, I kind of like the Clue house. That's sort of what I'm imagining. Yeah, that's actually a very that's what I'm thinking is more or less the house from Clue. Oh, and I want there to be like a pool house, like Will had on Fresh Prince. Yeah. Where like there's like a separate like house outside too where guests could stay or whatever.
Yeah. It's like an on-site villa, essentially.
Sort of, yeah. Like a little, yeah. That'd be awesome. And sometimes I would just stay there myself on my own, just like a little vacation from the norm. So I'd go stay in the pool house for a week or so.
So when you so you leave your house, your dream house, to go stay in the pool house, is what you're saying?
Occasionally.
But so it's a pool house. You didn't even mention a pool along with this house.
Oh, well, it implied that I have an indoor swimming pool. We talked about this last week.
So it's an indoor swimming.
I've got to have an indoor swimming pool.
This house, okay, I said 20.
Somebody tweeted at me, oh, well, it'll be a lot of money to get rid of the humidity. And there's a lot of aeration. I was like, yeah, open up some windows. Problem solved.
No. See, you're right. Those indoor pools, I don't know what technology they do now, but your house just reeks of, I don't know that the word is mold, but it's like like the pool at a gym or something. Like it's this gross, maybe it's just chlorine and moisture. It's this gross odor that like permeates in an indoor pool, I feel.
So I shouldn't have a dream house. Is what you're saying.
Do you think, Jeff, that any of those people tried to open the windows to get rid of the smell, like Tim is suggesting?
Well, it's just like open the windows. That'll be effective.
I love that we're doing this because firstly, the comments loved me last week, just in terms of Tim saying that Super Bowl is football season and his comments about the Wendy's solarium. I'm sorry I sidetracked you with my Wendy's joke and you forgot to give us the rest of your dream house. So I'm happy you're doing this today.
Many are saying that you're disrespecting the tradespeople of the world by saying how easy it is to do their job with you having zero experience of doing it.
I'm not saying that it's easy. It would take me a lot longer of a time than it would take them. I'm sure I wouldn't do as good of a job as them, but it saves me on some costs.
I know. See, here's the whole thing. You're building this dream home, which I've started to kind of do the rough estimate of how large it's going to be. You're looking at spending, even if you bought a remote property in the middle of nowhere to build this on. So realistically, the price of the land doesn't really factor in. You're probably, in terms of like just supplies and cost, if you were to do it all yourself, with the way that stuff is rated out right now, and this is before putting appliances or anything in, you're probably looking anywhere between like $3 and $5 million for what you've said.
That seems high, but I mean, prices are coming down.
That's living in the middle of nowhere.
And before you hire anyone to do any of this stuff.
Yeah, that's $3 to $5 million living in the middle of nowhere to build what he is just thinks he can build.
Well, I'd obviously be getting quotes.
You're trying to do a kitchen. Quote. Pat's trying to do a kitchen, doing a washroom. You know how much like a freaking shower costs now?
I don't have the slightest idea. Four or
Okay, well,
5,000
let me
bucks?
ask you this: you've been to my kitchen. We've wanted to get our kitchen redone since the day that we moved in, and we've got a bunch of quotes on it now. We want to redo the kitchen, and we want to redo the appliances, and we want to move our island and just freshen up the tabletops and all that kind of stuff. But it's a big job because you're redoing the kitchen, but it's not the biggest job in the world. What do you think the cheapest quote we got was?
7,500.
$97,000.
97,000.
Yes.
Wow.
I'd have guessed 70, 1,000 as the cheapest, but that's
Wow.
that's crazy. Yeah, Tim, it's crazy.
I'm sure a person could do that for half that price.
Well, you just thought that people would do it for 15 times less.
And you just thought the appliance, it cost you 1,000 to get a stove and a fridge.
Well, yeah.
Off Kijiji?
I really don't know what a stove costs. I don't go stove shopping.
Also, are you
And again, this is
planning
not
on-
why no one told you that you couldn't do this stuff. All we did was educate you on, hey, maybe this is a lot more costly than you may think it is.
Well, maybe it is, but like that doesn't mean that I should just give up on it.
No one said that you should give up on it.
Also, I can't believe that you want this home, like this dream home, and then you want to cut corners and admit that you'll do the work potentially poorly. And we know what your shoveling schedule is. Like you need a 15-minute break for 5 minutes of shoveling. I mean, buddy, I don't know. On the seventh day, you probably feel like you rest on Sundays. I don't know when you're going to do this.
Well, it would have to be a long-term project. There's no doubt about that. But I wouldn't just quickly, wave it off as an impossibility. I mean, I don't know. I understand the thing about it being a dream home is that I know it's not likely to happen, but I don't want to have to believe it could never happen, or a million things would have to go differently in my life for it to become possible.
I mean,
really, if I just won the lottery, that'd be enough.
Okay, you got to stop saying that your answer to all of this is winning the lottery.
Well, it is one of my answers. What if I won the
You don't
lottery?
even play. You don't even buy lottery tickets.
I do sometimes.
Really? It's real low.
I get some scratchers or some tearaways.
Okay, you get
and
some
I'll buy a
scratchers and
lottery
tearaways.
ticket.
What's the
Tim-
top prize on a tearaway? $500?
Yeah, but I just honestly.
you
I
know
just
how you
enjoy the
build this
tearing.
house? Someone's giving you the idea. You do cameos wishing people's mother-in-laws happy birthdays and well wishes. That's
Yeah, then you can build your dream house.
then you can build your dream house.
No, I don't want to build my dream house on blood money.
Well,
So you
are you
admit it? You admit
so you're admitting that it would be blood money?
I would be taking it because they believe it would be that. That's what
So
they
what
believe they're
you're
paying
saying is that you on Cameo is the same as PGA players going to play on Live.
for. Well, except PGA people playing on Live are legitimately taking blood money.
But you just said that you would be.
Everybody involved in the transaction is aware of what they're doing.
I have a theoretical number in my head. If you charge $50 per Cameo, how much money you can make this year?
I mean, I would imagine there's probably 50 people who would be interested.
Do you know how much money that is?
Well, 50 times 50 is 2,500.
There you go. I think there'd be more.
I can't imagine there'd be that many more.
You couldn't imagine that my kitchen renovation would cost as much money.
That
as it did.
seems an
Maybe you just don't know.
extraordinarily high amount of money. $79,000.
No, it was 97,000.
97,000. That's almost $100,000
That's good
for a
math.
stove and a fridge and a microwave and cable and countertops and moving an island. My gracious, that seems like such an exorbitant amount of money.
Stuff ain't cheap, pal.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
the-
I'm being told.
Why do you think the kitchen renovation hasn't started?
I can imagine, you do a marble
See, I would do it.
counter,
I would find a way to do it for half that.
a marble countertop, stainless steel appliance, nice cupboards with good handles and hardware, and new hardwood floors or something. Yeah,
Well, if you're installing brand new hardwood floors, okay, now I can start to see where the prices are going up.
I mean, I'm not installing hardwood floor. I'd have some sort of tiling in my kitchen on a hardwood floor.
sure, but new floor.
Yeah,
It's
I mean, the
all
new floors are a part of that. We're redoing
part
our
of it,
kitchen.
yeah.
It's not keeping the same fucking floor.
Well, I don't know. The floor's fine. Leave the floor alone.
I mean, the kitchen is fine, but that's why we don't need to do it. But if we wanted to upgrade to a kitchen that we really wanted, not the one that we moved into, this is what it's going to cost.
Yeah, but I mean, floors to me aren't a part of the kitchen of my dreams. I could really, as long as the floors aren't ugly and they don't, as long as they don't not match the color scheme and whatever, the floors.
If you're gonna
So
be
you-
there a long time, you don't think you're moving, you think it's great, you just want to do the kitchen. I don't know, just make your dream kitchen.
Yeah, you're not going to
Well,
spend all the
apparently I
money
can-
and not do it right. Like that makes no sense to me.
Oh,
Well, Pat, you could do it yourself.
Yeah, easy.
you probably could
Simple
do some of
stuff.
it. You're incredibly skilled with that. You could YouTube stuff and figure it out, and I bet you'd have no trouble. I know you. You'd figure it out.
I am like the least handy person in the world.
No, that's not true. You're more resourceful than you give yourself credit for. How many people could take the window out of their car completely and then reinstall it so that it worked again? Again, not that many people. You were able to do it, no problem.
I pulled it up on YouTube. It took me like 5 minutes.
Yeah, but most people wouldn't even dare to try that.
Most
figured it
people
out.
wouldn't know that you could YouTube this and they would walk you through how easy it is.
Well, anyway, I'm just saying you're more resourceful than you give yourself credit for.
Getting a window to start rolling up again in your car, big difference than renovating your kitchen.
Yeah, but what is a kitchen renovation but a series of little tasks?
I want it done right. You know that, right?
Sure, but you have a high standard, so you'll do it right.
I don't have the skills to do that.
Oh, I think you could figure it out.
No, see, I don't. Your overestimation of people's skills, most definitely your own, are shocking.
I'm just saying. I think I could put drywall.
You
into a
see,
house.
like again, just to kind of go back to it, it seems like you have very little respect for tradespeople.
I have
and how hard
very
their
high
jobs are.
It's not just hard; it's that they have done it so many times that they know all of the sort of, the economically intelligent ways to do things. They have figured out the. My mind is blanking now on Adam Smith's term about when you do a task enough time, you figure out the smartest and fastest way to do something. They have all of those skills.
I mean, is that from the Wealth of Nations?
No, but he was the one to coin that expression.
I think you're talking about the invisible hand, but that's when
No,
the invisible hand
no,
just
no.
gives you a beat.
No, that's not the division of labor. And once you understand the division of labor, you can master something very quickly. With enough
Tell us about
repetition.
your master bedroom in your dream home.
Okay, so first things first, it needs to be the size of like a tennis court. That's what I'm imagining in terms of size. Like the doubles tennis court. That's how big I want it to be. And I want it to have a massive walk-in closet with all, like enough room for my various wardrobes, for my summer wardrobe and my winter wardrobe. I hate having to put one wardrobe away and having to unpack a next every spring and fall. It is the worst. I don't wish to ever have to do that again. I wish there to be more than enough space for all of my things to be in a walk-in closet forever. So I want that. There has to be a really nice chair that I could use that's pointed towards a very big television that would be in the room. I would want there to be a big, nice, tasteful rug. I would like there to be blackout curtains. That way, if it's 8 o'clock at night and everyone's enjoying the sun in July, I can just close them and not have to worry about that. Big television.
What about the master like the
ensuite?
bathroom?
An ensuite that has a rainfall shower. This is non-negotiable. A rainfall shower and one of those tubs that have the legs on them that are freestanding. I want one of those types of tubs that the rainfall shower falls into, and the curtain that goes all the way around the tub, like the old timey kind.
Like body sprays and
yeah, sure. And big mirror, granite countertop, a sink that goes into the granite countertop, one of those sinks that are like built into the countertop. I want that.
his and hers.
Sure. Although I actually would prefer one really massive big sink rather than the double.
Like a
sink.
stadium washroom.
Yeah,
A
sort of.
trough, if you will.
No, not a trough, but a big sink, and then really nice, really nice commode and appliances like that.
A bidet?
No, pass on that.
Oh no, bidets are great. You get a
Nah,
quick hole
that's-
tickle, you feel
that's-
great.
No, I'm not judging. I'm just saying
You
I
gotta
don't
talk
want
to
that in
Cam
my.
about the bidets.
I don't
my
want it in my
son
dream
loves
home.
our bidet. It's fantastic. I love our
I'm
bidet
just
too.
saying
I
don't.
loved the bidet as a little kid too. My mom tells me I'd love one now, to be honest. You know?
They're fantastic. They're super cheap. You just hook them up to your toilet.
I'm sure you do. Great. I'm going to pass on that. I think that's the dream bedroom. Is there anything I'm missing?
I don't know.
A lot of tasteful artwork too.
Yeah, okay, of course. You got to have tasteful artwork. You said that your bedroom would be the size of a doubles tennis court. How much bigger would your ballroom be than your bedroom?
Probably two of them combined.
So it'd be two.
But you could
Okay.
use that for storage too, right?
Your ballroom is where you're using your storage.
I would use that as some storage as well. If I'm not having an event,
And
What if
what
you're having an
happens-
event? Where do you put all the stuff?
no, just put it in a different room where no one's going. Figure it out.
What happens when Belle shows up looking for her father?
That's not all right. All right.
So, based on what you've just told us, not about the ensuite or the walk-in closets, between your bedroom and ballroom, you've already sucked up 8,500 square feet.
Okay. Again, I don't know what that doesn't seem.
What
that
are you
big to me.
hosting?
That
Like,
doesn't
what-
seem that big. How big do you think my house is?
40,000 square feet, 20,000 square or 20,000 square feet.
You think my house is 20,000 square feet?
Sure. I don't know how big anything is.
Well, your bedroom and ballroom combined, put it this way, are almost 3 times the size of my entire house.
But I want really high ceilings.
So it needs to be even bigger. So
I want like 12-foot ceilings minimum.
So I want, if there's anyone out there who's a contractor or does budgeting for this kind of thing, based on what Tim has described in his dream home, of all the little things that he's just put in, we're going to call this, I don't know, 30,000 square feet, Jeff. Does that sound about right? With high ceilings.
Yeah, and I'm certain, like, it goes without saying, there's going to be like a screen, like a theater room in this house with state-of-the-art recliners and like a popcorn
In the living room.
machine in the
Well,
corner. or
I don't know
something.
about that. Definitely a large TV room, but I mean that a lot of people have living rooms like that.
Pool table, fancy, nice felt.
No, but
ivory
we have
walls, ivory-
heated driveways, indoor pool, and an auxiliary guest house, along with a 30,000 square foot home to begin with. So you've heard all the stuff. I would like to know what a budget would be for this house. I can't see it being anything less than $5 million.
Also, you know how much money it is to heat the driveway the size he is speaking of? He's not talking about the driveway in like our houses, Pat. He's talking about a huge circular driveway with a drive up and a gate.
Yeah, and maybe even has a name on it. Like, you know how people like to name their houses, like this, that, or the other, have some sort of name etched into it. That'd be really nice.
Ooh.
So what are you going to do with like all the grass in the backyard?
Well, I could lay the sod myself.
No, but, like,
What?
There's no outdoor pool.
Oh heavens, no! There's no outdoor
A tennis
pool.
court? Clearly.
No, nothing outdoors. Very little outdoor. We're not doing outdoor things. It's not an outdoors facility. Indoors is where things are. I don't have to worry about the fickleness of nature.
Not even a shuffleboard and a
There
nice
can be. I
little
want
canopy
there can
and
be a garden.
one
I'd like
of
to-
those
You know what I'd
canopies?
actually like is like a Victorian style garden that I can walk around through. Sort of like the one you see at Versailles with those like those statues where the water shoots out of their mouths and all the various flowers and the vines and the hedges that are trimmed in neat little ways. Like I could take up gardening and figure out that. So yeah, so like a Victorian style garden outside that I could promenade in
Do you have
on
like
nice days.
you have not even a maid, but like there's a house manager?
No, I could do it myself. Yeah, and a guest house and a 3-car garage for sure, with enough room for me to be able to do my work in
And what
there
are
in
your
terms of,
three?
like
What are the
woodworking or-
dream cars?
I would like to have a Porsche Cayenne. I think those are gorgeous. I would
That's
like
so
to
gross. Those are
Okay.
such loser cars.
I would like to have a Rolls-Royce Phantom. And I would like to have just like an everyday sort of getting you around sedan, whatever. Those 2 cars, and then like a regular everyday sedan.
I don't understand why you would go to a Rolls Royce and a Porsche and not get like the good version of those cars. You get like the shitty soccer mom version.
You don't think the Phantom is a good version of the Rolls-Royce?
I mean, I don't think so. No,
Oh, that's like top of the line almost.
it's not top of the line though, is it? You said almost.
Yeah, well, it's not the most expensive one imaginable, but it's still, it's probably going to set you back $450,000.
Rolls Royce. Let's see what the price.
I can tell you what Rolls Royces cost. I might not know what a banana costs at the store or what a fridge costs at the bay, but I can tell you what a Rolls Royce costs.
Well, you
Okay,
like-
I thought the Phantom was the SUV model. No, this one is pretty legit, but the Cayenne's terrible.
I think the Cayenne is a really
what's
sharp.
is the Cayenne the SUV also?
Is the Porsche
Yeah, it's
SUV?
the Porsche SUV.
No, the
hate
Phantom
this.
is not an SUV.
No, it's not. I got that wrong. So yes, just have the Phantom. Why do you need a shitty Porsche SUV?
I think it looks really cool,
It
and
doesn't.
also
It
I'd
looks
to
like
have-
it's Jeff. What do you make of them? I think they look like crap.
you see a few around.
Yeah, I know. I think there's a reason you see a few around.
They're pretty popular here.
Soccer moms.
A lot of people.
Well, but Jeff, not everybody spends all our time on the bridal path like you do. Where of
Hey.
course Porsches would be very popular.
Chicken Big Mac, a poulet Big Mac. This one is yours.
Okay.
This one is mine. There we go.
All right. Bon appetit, I suppose.
I mean, you said you were not gonna have anyone like to come into it. Just tastes like a regular chicken sandwich. Which is good. I like chicken sandwiches. I like the chicken.
Honestly, what you taste is the Big Mac sauce for me. I taste the lettuce and the Big Mac sauce and the cheese. The chicken is like, it's okay. It's okay. It's not great. I would rather a real Big Mac.
People are saying that you look very happy for someone who is eating something you hate.
Well, I won't go so far as to say I hate the sandwich, but I don't love it. It's okay. Like it's a perfectly passable grade.
You loved it enough to keep half of it on your face.
Oh dear. Can I have a serviette, please?
There are none.
Really? Usually they give all kinds of serviettes. They
What? What?
Yeah, I mean, the chicken is you don't. It's super thin, right?
It is very thin.
Like if you get a
I mean,
Mac,
I don't like Big Macs to begin with.
fair
so-
enough. If you get a Mac chicken, right, it's a little thicker of a patty. This one's a bit thinner. Like it's not a bad sandwich. Don't get me wrong, but it's not a great sandwich.
What was that little shake you got going there? Is it giving you Parkinson's?
I'm trying to eat. I'm making choke.
Don't choke. Here, we can get you a, what do we got over here? You can have one of these warm bushes that Paul had in the studio from before he could not drink them anymore. Or
You can have
oh, yeah, that's right.
a whole 32 pack of DCs. That thank you for uncursing the Bills in the first round of the playoffs. How did that end up?
Well, they won that game.
I mean, they did.
Blood money.
Oh, God.
That was like the time you tried to hit the top of my beer glass in Charlotte.
I did hit the top of your beer glass in Charlotte. So, Paul, we were on a golf trip about, I guess, 13 years ago now. We went to go see March Madness
We did.
in Charlotte. And Tim had never had anyone who, like, tipped the top of his beer before. So we're sitting in a restaurant. I do that to him, which, if I did that to you, you had a bottle of beer, I hit the top of it, what would you automatically do? Knowing that all the beer is coming out of that bottle now. You put your mouth around it to get all the beer. Tim just goes, holds it, lets it spill all over the floor.
I'd never seen it done before.
I'm sorry, Jeff, that we can't hear you.
I'm also not.
We were not equipped for coming into the studio.
I'm also not convinced the Big Mac sauce works with chicken.
I mean, I don't have any Big Mac sauce on mine or pickles because I don't like any of that stuff.
Okay, but like to have a Big Mac, those are sort of like I think the sauce is a sine qua non. Otherwise, it's just a hamburger.
Yeah, well, I didn't actually want like I said, I don't like Big Macs, mainly because of the Big Mac sauce.
Tim, you are looking like a guy who likes that sandwich.
That's true. You are going to town on this sandwich.
I have barely eaten today.
You didn't go to that Greek restaurant you like so much?
It's a Friday during Lent, so I usually don't eat sun up to sundown. I usually wait till it's dark. I usually fast on Fridays during Lent.
You're fucked.
Anyhow, so I really haven't eaten much all day. I had some plain Greek yogurt with raspberries before the sun came up this morning. It's delicious.
Are you the glove man?
Yeah, are you glove guy? I don't think he's capable of like sewing his own leather into the gloves. I mean, he just needs someone to work him in.
Stop that.
So you would never get one of these again?
I don't think I would purchase one of these, no. And it's not again because it's bad. It's not bad. It's like a 6 out of 10. 6.5 out of 10. It's just McDonald's has so many other good options. If I were in the mood for this type of sandwich, I'd just go for a Big Mac. Because I like the Big Mac sauce. I like beef better than chicken. Like, I think it goes better. But again, it's not horrible, but it is kind of what I thought. It was unnecessary. Wasn't bad though.
But now that you've had one, are you still going to be triggered that they exist?
Well, I'm annoyed still that
But
they
why?
exist.
You just said you never have to order one again. What does it matter to you?
Like,
Are you triggered that they have these fancy boxes that say Chicken Big Mac on them?
I don't understand why they felt compelled to hype them up so much when I just...
Because it's a new product. That's what people do with new products.
Yeah,
they
but
don't need to advertise you the Big Mac. You know it exists.
It just doesn't meet the moment, I think.
The moment of what?
Like all the advertisements, all the foofara and the interest in it, and it just doesn't quite justify it. Like it's a C minus C plus sandwich. Yeah, it was okay.
So you would rate it a 6 out of 10.
I think I'd
Now,
rate it-
I asked you this the other day,
Okay.
that if something is at McDonald's and it's rated 6 out of 10, are you comparing it to anything at McDonald's, all fast food, or all food?
All food.
That doesn't make any sense. If this is a 6 out of 10 versus all food and you think it's terrible.
I didn't say it was terrible. I said it was okay. It's good. It's a passing grade. Most food, by the way, is good. Most food gets a passing grade.
But it doesn't, because it's on a scale with, it's comparing food to food.
yes.
So, something has to be at the bottom.
Oh, yeah. Like mushrooms. They could be at the bottom. Oof. Pardon me. I've eaten too quickly.
Are you going to live?
I don't
Not
know.
the
Am I
tour.
I'm going to know. Is it going to be...
Is that what it took you to get to the live tour? A fucking Chicken Big Mac? Phil got $1 billion. You get a Chicken Big Mac, pal.
Not only that, but, Phil was proven right. Phil was offered them this idea of $1 billion this, that, or the other. He was tweeting about it this week. For some reason, Phil gets into people's mentions out of nowhere. Starts writing.
Phil is like you. He's just Googling his name at home because he has nothing else to do. I mean, I can't hear Jeff, but I'm sure Jeff does the same thing.
Definitely. But, Phil should be practicing for Augusta. He should be practicing.
What about for Tucson?
Well, that's kind of a
Oh,
home track for
yeah.
him.
So someone in the comments just put this out.
Oh, yes.
You can have your Diet Coke and your new Batman Forever mug that was sent in by our viewers. Cody. Thanks
you.
again, Cody.
This means a lot to me. I mean that.
I do like that the first one he sent shattered as he put it into the box. Kill me, Timbers! I got him good. Are you just reaching for another Diet Coke?
Yeah, whatever. It's life in the streets. This is supper. 2 DCs and a chicken Big Mac.
Are we recording this show? Of course. Oh, perfect.
Why?
So what's wrong with me putting stuff in the freezer like cake?
Oh my God. So it's
What's
not.
wrong with me doing that?
Here's the thing. As some people had pointed out, that others were putting, like some people saved their wedding cake to eat on their anniversary, which I will go back again, people, and tell you the best wedding gift that is actually cheaper than just giving people money, but they'll enjoy more, is go to a TJ Maxx. We call it Winners here in Canada. Go get like an old-timey wooden box. They're super cheap there. Fill it up with some like hay or streamers or something like that, and go get a nice bottle of champagne. You don't need to go spend $1,000 on a bottle of champagne. Buy like a $150, $200 bottle of champagne as a
I thought
wedding
you
gift.
said a nice bottle of champagne.
Oh, I'm sorry, Tim. Do you not want this for your wedding?
Go ahead.
You're the same guy who's bringing frozen
just,
matzo sticks to potlucks?
Like, $100 is okay champagne. I
What's the
guess.
most you've ever given someone as a wedding gift?
That's a good question.
Is it
I don't
over
know.
under $100?
I think it's a push.
So, shut up. Anyway,
Okay.
go get your $150 or whatever you can afford. It doesn't need to be, like I said, $1,000. If all you can afford is a $50 bottle, get a $50 bottle. Whatever you're going to give as the gift anyway, in terms of money, get that quality. I mean, it wouldn't be quality according to Tim, despite that's what he's giving people as a gift. Either way, you put it in the box, you wrap it up, and you tell the bride and groom to open it 1 year from now on their anniversary. They open it up, they have a nice bottle of champagne, they'll remember you. It's a great wedding gift. Other people, on their wedding night, they like to take a piece of the cake and put it in their freezer and store it to eat 1 year later as a reminder of their anniversary, Jeff. And to the person, when they take that out, you know it tastes like absolute shit? That cake.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah.
That sounds horrible.
But Tim
Sounds horrible. Also, Tim, I need what's the backstory on Tim and cake? Because
he went to the grocery store and bought a birthday cake, despite the fact that his birthday is not for 5 months from now.
listen,
And he only bought it because it was half off. Not because he wanted to eat the cake tonight, but because it was half off and he could store it in the freezer so when people came over, he could thaw it out in the microwave and serve it to people.
Yes, you've got to have cake on hand in case company drops by to serve with tea or coffee.
No one stops by your place. You don't invite anyone over.
That's not true. People, you need to have cake on hand for company.
Then have
It's
cake
just
on hand.
politeness.
Don't give him fucking
It's just about being
microwave
polite.
cake.
And you just microwave for like 15 seconds to thaw it out.
That
You're not putting it in for long periods of time, right? You just put it so that it's not frozen anymore. But like it was half price.
Yeah.
And it looked delicious. And when you're at the grocery store and you see things on half price, that's a must buy most of the time. I feel very strongly about this. In a world where grocery prices are growing and budgets are being stretched tighter, you see that 50% sticker, you have to then at that point explain to yourself why you aren't buying that item.
that's wrong. That is wrong.
Maybe
I
just
will
buy what you need.
I will backtrack and say that generic grocery store preservative-filled white cake.
So good.
Oh, it's delicious.
Thank you. So
And
just
you
on my
can buy,
side.
hold on. You can buy that thing. It can say happy birthday on it. You don't need a reason. In my house, sometimes that thing shows up for just because it's Friday.
Okay, good. I agree.
But
Sometimes
it
I will
doesn't
buy
go in
birthday
the
cakes.
it doesn't go in the freezer to like maybe in 3 months. Aunt Judy's coming over, and I'm gonna need a thaw piece of this 50% off. No, that is low rent.
No, it's not.
No, it is because the cake is low rent. So saving
No, it's good cake.
but
was a
saving
tort.
low rent half price cake for 4 months from now.
Stop
It's
calling it
insane.
low rent. It's actually
Tim,
very good
Tim,
cake.
It
you,
is.
Tim, you
No,
fucking
I
tweeted
like
us.
it.
You showed us a picture of it. It was a $16 cake that you bought for half off.
It was a $16 half cake. So it would have been a $32 full cake.
Again, if you're so big into cake, why don't you actually go to a cake shop or a pastry shop to buy your cake instead of just
No,
going
I like to go to the grocery store.
the shittiest part of the supermarket?
I like to go to the superstore and like the Loblaws and just walk by the cake aisle every single time I'm there and just look at the cakes and the cupcakes and the various things they have. And sometimes if there's a good cake there at 50% off, I'll just buy it and have it in the house and snack on it, or I'll save it. in case company comes by. And in this instance, I didn't have anything, and it's a great deal at this price. So, like, again, when you see something 50% off at the grocery store, you then have to defend why you haven't bought it.
No, that's not true.
It is true.
Also, let's put this into some sort of context. $200 bottle of champagne, trash gift, great gift for people coming over to you, $8 frozen cake.
Well, those are very different circumstances.
You're hosting people, and you want them to enjoy yourselves, and you're giving them the shittiest thing they can eat. Prepared in the worst possible way.
Tim, let's say, okay, so you have this frozen cake, but now you're planning, now, like in 4 days, I'm having some people over. Would you, on that 4th day, go out and get a new cake, or would you say, I've got that sucker in the freezer?
I'd use the one that's in the freezer.
Oh my God.
That's not love. That is not love.
That's what it's there for.
No, you literally made it seem like it's there for the same reason you keep Subway gift cards. Like,
yes, it is
popping by.
But it's
that's exactly why.
But Jeff just said that these people are coming over, so you can go pick up a fresh cake, and probably a nicer one at that.
Well, if I were to buy a cake, it would be from the same place that I get all my cakes, which is to say the grocery store.
So you have no interest in giving your guests anything nice, is what you're saying. You want to have the lowest. Like. Maybe they don't like it because you have the lowest fucking taste possible.
That's not true.
Come on now.
Oh, please. No, please.
But
Sounds like it.
I saw Pat's post where you were like offended that someone wished you happy birthday.
Well, my question was whether I needed to correct them or just accept the compliment.
I
chose to accept the compliment.
You chose to accept the compliment, but you don't see the real dig here, because most people wouldn't assume when buying a birthday cake that the birthday cake would be for you, but that person did assume it was for you.
She smelled the Al Borland on him, Pat.
Oh no!
You didn't think about that, did you?
No. Oh, well, that was mean then.
It's true. I've never picked up a birthday cake and the cashier wishes me the happy birthday.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that.
Can you give us
Oh my God.
Yeah, that didn't occur to you. You were just you wanted the credit for it being your birthday. You really forgot about that part.
She said, "Oh, happy birthday," and I was like, "Oh, thanks." But it didn't occur to me. Yeah, like who buys birthday cakes for themselves other than, like Jeff said, the Al Borland table for one type?
Maybe it's the Tim Andercust types, according to that cashier.
I mean, I was buying it for myself. She wasn't wrong.
Well, I thought you were buying. Hold on. I'm buying it. I thought that you were buying it for your guest, and now it's for you. Is it all? Have you already eaten the cake?
No, I haven't eaten the cake.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
You're like, Tim, I'm even questioning going back into the freezer. I've got some ice cream cake from my birthday that I'm worried could.
Oh, that's fine. Ice cream belongs in the freezer. If it's not okay after 2 weeks, what are we doing here? Yeah, it's fine.
I know. I want to break that brick out.
Break it out. There's nothing wrong with that. Ice cream in the freezer is good for a long time. Till it gets those crystals on it. That's when it's time to chuck it.
Also, why was it 50% off? Is it because it was super
I don't know.
It's because it expires that night. It's like
I think it's close to the expiration date sort of thing.
You are someone who won't eat anything like 5 days before the expiration date.
But freezers change the game on this.
But this is already like hours away from the required expiration date that they have to put on.
On the sticker, I bet it says for tonight. Like eat tonight. We recommend
it actually
for
does
tonight.
have something like that.
Yeah, we recommend you eat this tonight. Like it's saying tonight is the night.
I can't eat a whole half cake by myself in one night.
Oh, I dare you to. Let's see if you can't do it.
Okay.
Bet
Not
you
that
could.
I can't do it.
But
Okay.
50% off, you don't need to eat the whole thing to get value.
I got value even if I don't take a bite out of it because it's such a great buy.
What?
I understand that sounds crazy, but let me explain. Even if I don't get a bite out of it, I bought it at such a discount. that I got value. It's exactly the same as the argument you would make about me getting value on San Francisco -6 last week. Even though they didn't win, even though I lost the bet, I got great value on it. So it's the same logic here. So I got great value on the cake, even if I don't take a bite and chuck it in the trash. Like in some ways, I still come out a winner because I bought an item at value. If you see what I'm saying?
If you don't think you're going to win most insane.
If you don't eat it, you just wasted it. Like there is no value.
I thought you were.
You made a bad
very big on
purchase.
not wasting things.
I don't want to waste it. I'm hoping that in a few
Like,
months.
Your
it'll be
logic is if you just go around making sharp buys at the grocery store, you'll eat the majority of those things. You'll be plus EV.
Yes, that's
Same
exactly
way as
it.
If you get enough games with multiple point closing line value, your season record will be fine.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
It's how you beat big grocery long term.
100%. One of the ways to beat big grocery is to cash in on BOGOs.
You know,
50% off days.
You know what? He's not wrong. He only has to beat the big grocery store 54.6% of the time, Jeff.
MV Galen Weston.
Yes. Like again, 50% off is a must buy. I'll buy the 50% off sandwich in the deli, even if I don't really like the sandwich that much, because it's half price. You can't say no to it.
But like, when
What are
you
you
go to
talking
the-
about?
When you go to the Bay, are you just raiding the 50% off shelf? Like, why would that?
Well, it's not a grocery store, and it's a lot more money. But yes, if I'm going to the Bay and it's like there's a 50% off rack, and I find something I like,
Why do you have to
9
like it? You
chances
know,
in
you say
10.
you can throw it out and it's plus EV.
well, but again, I like the cake. I'll throw it out if I have a chance to. I'm still plus EV. If I get a article of clothing that I really like and don't wear it much and give it away to charity, that's still a plus EV buy. I've still gotten extra value. If you know what I mean. Its consumption is not its value is not contingent on its consumption.
Really? Food?
It's contingent upon its purchase.
What other items at the grocery store are absolute must-buys with a 50% sticker on them?
Chicken wings from the deli.
Oh my god!
Chicken tenders from the deli.
Anything from like a grocery store deli is fucking disgusting, man.
Not true.
And if they're 50% off, you know they've been there for like 8 hours.
That's so what? They're in the cold.
If you're buying tendies, if you're buying that shit at 50% off and you're not eating it for dinner, it's gone.
Yeah,
Even
but I
if you-
usually am in that
Even
case.
if you're eating it for dinner, like there is nothing.
It might not make
more
it home.
disgu-
It might not make it home. The cold tendies might get eaten in the car on the drive home.
Are those like the
That's happened.
like I don't know what cold tendies are? Are those like the taters, like the
The
wedge
chicken
taters?
tenders.
No,
No, the chicken
it's like-
tenders that aren't like chicken
honestly,
fingers that are cold.
You know,
I will say,
you know those
it's
potato
under-
wedges that they serve at like grocery store delis might be the most disgusting item. Even fresh.
Yeah,
out of
I'm not a lover.
Even out
I'm not
of
a lover of
the
the
deep
wedges.
fryer, they are fucking disgusting.
Yeah, I have to say I'm not a lover of wedges in general. I think it's too much potato. There's way too much potato to crisp ratio.
And
Wedges
even
rarely
if
do
you
it.
ask
Well,
for them like well done, they still can't. They're still not. They're never.
Yeah, it's
able
too
to get
potatoey.
crispy enough,
I don't go in for wedges.
This
Very
came
often.
this came up the other day, Jeff, when Tim was talking about the famous Chinese food place that he loves to go to. Tim, what did you say were your two favorite things at that place and why you go there?
The egg rolls and the chicken balls are the two best things.
Yes.
Egg rolls because they're unlike anywhere else's egg
No,
rolls in the city.
Jeff, are you hearing him? And this is the same thing about. I mean, just I find that those taters are absolutely disgusting. Those wedges. But he said there's too much potato, not enough of the outside, the batter. The two things that he likes at this Chinese food place probably make up 74% batter.
Yeah, I mean that's like what kids. Yeah,
That's true of the chicken balls, and you can get chicken balls anywhere. Their chicken balls are not so much better than everybody else's chicken balls, even though they're
if
absolutely
you're ordering
phenomenal.
chicken balls past like 11 years old, and this
Oh,
is
really?
somebody
You
who
don't get
likes
sweet and sour
wrestling-
chicken balls? You don't order sweet and sour chicken balls with your Chinese? What's wrong with you?
No,
I
'cause
don't.
I get,
we
like-
order Chinese all the time. Do you ever see me get it?
I get it every
'cause
time.
I like the other dishes. Like I get my chicken sandwiches or my chicken nuggets and other things. I don't need that from my Chinese. That's
food, yeah.
literally like what my kids like.
I ordered the ginger beef, the chicken balls, the sweet and the honey spare ribs, the rice, chow mein, and egg rolls. It was a
That's
meal
a-
for
that-
multiple.
That's quite a
it was a
fucking
meal.
That's quite a meal there, pal.
It was a meal for 4 people.
Yeah, but
4 people partook in that meal.
But you ate the chicken balls. You get chicken balls every single time that we order Chinese food, or even Thai food for that matter, because they'll have chicken balls on the menu.
Yeah.
You're gonna get them every single
I
time.
love chicken. I love them.
You and my dad actually have the same level of like refinement with their taste.
I
Both love
chicken
chicken
sour
balls.
chicken balls.
I'm not going to diss the chicken ball. I will not.
I love it, and I bet you if you were to ask Cam Stewart, he loves them too.
No.
No, doesn't like sweet and sour chicken balls.
No,
Not a fan?
I think he likes them, but if Cam's got to fill up like the 3
there should be an
entrees-
all-you-can-eat sweet and sour chicken ball.
If Cam's got to fill up the 3 entree styrofoam large, chicken balls aren't making the cut.
Really?
I think
Okay.
what Jeff is saying is that he can get better than sweet and sour chicken balls from a Chinese food place. If he's going to get like that level of chicken, he'll get nuggets from wherever it is that he likes nuggets. If you're going to go to a Chinese food place, why aren't you getting Chinese food?
Well, first, I consider sweet and sour chicken ball the type of North Americanized Chinese food, and I love them, and I grew up on them, and I think they're delicious. It doesn't mean they're the only thing I would get, but like if you had to tell me you have to order a Chinese meal, it can only have 3 things, I'd get sweet and sour chicken balls, rice, and an egg roll. Yes, I would. I don't feel like a Chinese food meal is quite complete without sweet and sour chicken balls. Now, you don't have to feel that way. You know, these are questions of taste, but they're my 2 favorite things there. But they do everything they do there is phenomenal. They do a pineapple chicken where they bread an entire breast of chicken and they slice it lengthwise and they serve it with a pineapple sauce. Out of this world.
It's a really trash place.
Again, you don't know what you're talking about.
I lived right next to it. I lived right next to it.
Someone who's
probably
eaten
eaten
there
there
a heck of a lot more than you have.
We tried it. Other Tim and I lived right next to it. We went there for like 2 straight months. We were like, we can't keep going here. It's truly awful. It's like they don't
it's
change.
The city's most beloved Chinese.
I mean, it's not even the city's most popular Chinese food place. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I think it might actually be that.
It's not. I mean, tell you, Great Wall is. It's not even close.
Nah, but see, that's not true as much anymore.
It is
because of its location.
It is still true. When they run the city awards, it had to retire itself from the best Chinese food restaurant category to give others
the
a
line
chance.
I stood in to get my Chinese.
Well, did you go to any other Chinese place?
Oh, why would I go anywhere else?
Did you drive by any? So how the fuck do you know?
The line I had to wait in was, I mean, Jeff is busy looking for treasure on his phone.
I mean, that's real main character evidence, by the way. Well, I was here. Obviously, it wasn't the same anywhere else because I was here.
Yeah, New Year's Eve. You wait in a long line to get Chinese.
I pre-ordered.
Or you wait in a long line to go anywhere on New Year's Eve to get anything.
I pre-ordered the day before and still was an hour late. I didn't complain.
That doesn't sound like very good service there, pal.
It's the busiest day of the year. You expect that sort of stuff.
But it was
everybody
only busy there.
And there were dozens of people waiting inside. Everyone said, this place is so delicious, it's worth the wait. Like their egg rolls, they invented the type of egg rolls you get here in the Maritimes that you won't get anywhere else. Like they invented them, I think, and they taste.
Okay, so
better.
hold on. They invented these types of egg rolls. Next sentence, they invented these types of egg rolls. I think.
I believe that's true.
Like when you say you believe that, like you think that's true because you've heard it from no one and now you're making it up?
No, I thought I had read or heard that, but now I can't swear to it, but I'm pretty sure of it.
So you're trying to pass off
their
fake
egg
news.
rolls are so good. They're so good. And then again, the homemade sweet and sour sauce that they use for the chicken balls. It's like, man, now I want chicken balls. I can't have them.
Why not? You can
trying to cut back my Chinese food intake.
But it's chicken, though, so it's good for you. Remember, that was your logic.
Well, the chicken is. If I were to just strip away the batter, the chicken would be great for me.
You wouldn't like the chicken balls if you stripped away the batter. You don't care
I had
for
chicken
the chicken.
last night.
You don't care
That's
for
not
the
true.
chicken.
Just last night, I had a healthy meal. I bought one of those chickens from the Costco, ripped it up, threw the skin out, mixed it with some buffalo sauce, and had it like that.
Why'd you throw out the skin? Listen, I get the skin's not great for you, but if you're going to get a fucking chicken pre-made from Costco and drench it in sauce, what's the difference?
The sauce has no carbs. It's healthy. It's all white meat.
What sauce were you using that has no carbs in it?
It's a buffalo sauce.
Are you sure it has no carbs?
I looked at the actual label. It has no carbohydrates.
At least you're looking at the label now. But
looking for sauces that have no carbs. That means they have very few sugars. And that means that they're healthy for you.
Why would that make them healthy for you?
Well, they have no carbs.
You've learned nothing, have you?
I have learned something. To look at the label. like you told me. Try to avoid the sugars.
Hurts my brain. That doesn't make it healthy for you. No sauce is healthy. And once you start introducing sauce, it's going to inherently be worse for you.
No, Tabasco sauce has got like no calories.
Sure, then use sriracha.
I don't like it as much.
Well, that also has 0 calories.
Yeah, I think soya has 0 calories too.
It's full of salt. And
Well, yeah.
and it does have calories because it's full of salt.
Well, salt doesn't have calories.
I think the mix when you have because soya beans would have it. I'm pretty sure soya sauce has calories in it.
I don't think it does. You look it up, but I don't think it does.
Soya sauce calories. Yeah, 53 calories and 100 grams of soya sauce, which...
Take one of those little packets.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of those is usually good, though, for your rice.
I mean, the more the better, right? More salt you can have, the better.
Well, look, we've sort of gotten off track here, but I'm glad that Jeff is on my side on the cake.
No.
There's nothing wrong with picking up a cake from the grocery store and bringing it home and having it for guests.
Does your wife
4
approve?
months
Does your
later-
wife approve of this strategy, Jeff?
No, he's everyone who listened. If you just fast forwarded to this part, you might think Tim and I agree. We do not.
So you don't buy cakes from the grocery store, birthday cakes, when it's not even your birthday.
No, I told you we do that. We can call it Friday. They're delicious.
Yes, they are
Filled
delicious.
White cake, generic, the most generic, low rent white cake. It's a good little thing. It's just not something that's worth like saving. When you need it, you can just go get it. The grocery store always has it. The little lady behind that.
Yeah, but it was
counter
half price,
making
and
them-
you can't pass up those deals.
It's
Things that don't go on half price at the grocery store often. If you're looking to make your grocery budget, stretch it out. In a time where groceries are more expensive, look for the half price stuff. That's where the value is. Beat the house as much as you can. How am I wrong here?
Let's just move on to the next set of games.
So that's your concession to me. That's fine.
Yes, that I walk around the grocery store every time I see the 50% sticker. I just gotta buy it. Why don't you just buy the fucking stuff you need?
Well, again,
you
what
don't
kind of life
even
is that?
look at the price. You've literally bragged. You don't even look at the price.
I mean, that is true. I just like knowing I'm getting a deal.
You're just like, I get what I want. I don't worry about the price.
That's
What's
correct.
the
I don't.
difference? What's the difference if it's $5.99 or $4.87? Like, I'm just buying what I want. That's literally Tim for.
That's correct. But at the same token, I love getting a deal.
This is just like when they advertise the things on the front of the flyers that aren't even on sale, but you think that they are because they're on the flyer.
That's not necessarily true. If they're on the flyer and they say they're so much off, then that's a deal.
Yeah, but
It's against the law to
but a
advertise.
lot of the times it doesn't say that it's anything off. As someone who worked in the grocery store, I know this very vividly. They'll ask me where the sale is on chicken. I'm like, there is no sale on chicken. It's like, but it's on the front of the flyer. It's like, yeah, they're just telling you there's chicken here. They've made you believe that it's off, but it's not. And you don't even go and check. You buy it thinking it's on sale.
I certainly do, because then I want the chicken.
But you also
Grocery stores are supposed to be fun. People who treat it mechanically are sucking the joy out of life. They're giving you bad advice.
okay.
You're
So
supposed
what
to have
are
fun
you
when you go to the
doing,
grocery
Tim,
store.
when you need to buy like 3 or 4 units of something to get the sale, but you only need like 1 unit?
I do that. Cases of DC, for example.
No, but that's something you would use. I'm talking about things where it's like, oh, if you buy 3, it's this price, but like, I really only need half of this one box.
Yeah, well, that's my life when I go to Costco, basically. Like, I'll buy a big jar of mayonnaise, even though I know no way I'm going to go through all that. But it's just such a deal.
Wouldn't it be better? Wouldn't it be a better deal for you to buy a smaller bottle that you'll actually use that costs less?
No, but it doesn't cost that much less.
But it does cost less.
A little less, but I'm using more than the amount of the little bottle.
Are
but
you?
Jeff raises a good point. Yes, I am. But Jeff raises a
How much
good point.
mayonnaise are you using? That's disgusting.
And, I use it when I make various types of sandwiches or whatever.
All right, you guys ready to move on?
Yes.
Yes. Being attacked for my mozzarella sticks, even though Jeff agrees with those. Being attacked for my purchasing of cakes to put in the freezer. I wonder if anyone else has experienced this as I am experiencing this today. But once you go out to a really nice place for dinner, as I did last night, it is so hard to come home and want to eat any of the food that you have, or go look at any food nearby that isn't really like I just don't want to eat it. I'm like, what I had last night, I had these thing called Yukon Gold mashed potatoes. And the way it worked, right, it's not like regular potatoes that are mashed. Like these were like very silky, and I'm pretty sure like butter and table cream was mixed into them, and they were topped with green onions. Like they were so delicious. And now I had a steak, I had a Caesar salad, which was made at the table beside me from scratch. Like it was top notch. And like you come home to what you've got in your fridge or the place is doing, you go, I would rather not eat than eat this stuff. Like I just have no interest. And like, does anyone else have this experience of like once you've eaten something really nice, like at least a day or two after, it's like, I couldn't even imagine eating this right now. I've eaten something delicious. I couldn't go back to eating this.
I like that you had never heard of Yukon Gold potatoes before.
Oh no, I'd heard of Yukon Gold potatoes. I've never had the mash.
How bad were the mashed potatoes that you've eaten in your life that you go to one restaurant, they have mashed potatoes, and they're like, there's only so much you can do with mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Well, I grew up, we boiled the potatoes whole, and then they were just mashed with a fork, and you had a little salt and pepper added to them, and that was mashed potatoes. So I never really cared for them.
I can see why.
But like these were like silky, and they were really delicious, I have to say. And like that was like, again, I'm talking about a $10 or $12 or $13 side compared to this delicious piece of beef that I ate, which was also phenomenal. But it's like you come home and the next day or so, he's like, I would rather not take on any calories and not eat anything because it just can't match up to what I just had. And all I would be doing while eating this other stuff is judging it versus this. Now that maybe this is not other people's experience, but like this is the way I feel right now. Like I haven't had a bite to eat all day because I just don't feel like anything is up to snuff.
You haven't had anything to eat today?
Not a bite. Because I just like, I wanted to have something at lunchtime. And I was like, I can't really eat that. I had a much more delicious version of that last night. I couldn't be bothered to have that right now.
But what about all of the great things that you always talk to us about, like mozzarella sticks and popcorn sandwiches?
Well, mozzarella sticks are the A, and Kenny confirmed it. And Kenny, was a chef. He gets it.
When was Kenny a chef?
At that restaurant. He said that. Anyway,
I mean, that's not what he said. When he asked him if he'd ever been a chef, he said no. But okay.
And then he said, if you want to say I'm a chef, that's fine. So.
Yeah, he has stolen chef valor.
Is anyone else going through this experience? Gone through this experience? Where
no, most of it. This is why you're an insane person.
You come home, you're like, I don't want to eat any of the stuff I have now because none of it can compare to what I ate. I think all I would be doing is judging it.
I think it just really speaks to the quality of food you have in your house.
I have like nice stuff, like
no, it doesn't sound like you do.
I have like salad greens and vegetables, and I have decent cuts of meat, but like nothing compares to what I had. So like
the way you've described yourself and your experiences over the years, I don't know how to respond to this other than, and I'm not someone that like goes out like a ton, but but I'm also fortunate enough where I've been to these places almost since a young age where I'm just so, I don't want to say so used to it, but no, it doesn't have that like jarring effect on me after I go to a nice restaurant, like how I feel after.
Yeah. Nor do I. This is just you going to nice restaurants for once instead of the worst possible restaurants, which you claim are the best. Like that place that just got shut down that you love so much.
It isn't shut down yet, and I intend to make a pilgrimage to it before it gets shut down.
So you want to go to the you just went to the best steakhouse in the city, and now you're going to go to and you can't eat anything the day after because it was so good. And then you're going to go to a place where their steak is fucking rubber.
Yeah, well, the thing is, you're going there for nostalgia and the flavor profile, but not the actual like. Anyway, yes.
Well, a couple things. If you were to say, get a courtesy car, like one of the SUVs you think other people should buy, would that make it so much harder to return to your car?
Definitely. If I had like And again, I was mocked for this, but people came to my side like, "Oh, gee, you recommended an Atlas. Oh, you recommended."
No, you didn't. You recommended. You recommended a Bentley.
That was one of the ones I recommended.
It was the first one you recommended.
I
Hey,
recommended
you should get
Cayenne.
this
I recommended
Bentley.
an Atlas. I recommended all kinds of different SUVs that would.
I mean, you've never even driven. Like I said, I have an Atlas, and that's the only reason that you bring up an Atlas. But you've never even fucking driven an Atlas. How do you know?
I haven't driven it, but I have driven in it.
So
It's a nice car. There was one parked in front of my house the other day. I looked at it closely.
They are nice, but I would have trouble recommending a car I've never fucking driven before.
Well, that doesn't bother me. You can read stuff up on Consumer Reports or in like the Auto Trader or whatever, and that's all you need to know.
Really? How often do you go onto Auto Trader and read their consumer reports?
I haven't read anything since I had to make my last purchase, but
and you bought the most generic car possible
because that's what I wanted.
But your recommendations never involve a Toyota Corolla.
Well, our friend who has some means said he would like to purchase an SUV. And I thought, to be reasonable, I'd offer him an SUV that I thought he'd like.
Yeah, here's a $300,000. Here's a $300,000 car for the guy.
I mean, it's not that much. Whatever.
The same guy who has had the same car since you've known him. You think he's going to go break the bank on buying an SUV?
I mean, I think I recommended some really nice ones. Some actual. I mean, talk about actual luxury cars. That's an actual luxury car. So I thought I'd recommend. I hear they're very nice.
So, Jeff, have you ever had mashed potatoes that have changed your life?
They're so good. I can't even describe.
I love a good mashed potato. I know it's bad for you, but it's
bottom of the barrel. Bottom of the barrel. Give me a great baked potato over a fucking mashed potatoes.
I would have said that. I would have said the same thing.
I like them all. I like them all. I like them all.
It even came out in this cast iron little dish.
Okay, well, what if you hadn't ordered the mashed potatoes at the restaurant and you'd ordered their baked potato? Do you think their baked potato would be equally as good?
I don't know. I mean, I know that I like baked potatoes, but I've had a lot of good baked potatoes in my life.
It sounds like
it also sounds like you thought you would have every mashed potato there was to have, and then you had.
I didn't think there were different types.
Well, why don't you think there would be different types of baked potatoes too?
It didn't occur to me. Well, because the baked potatoes are a pretty standard thing. You get your sour cream, your bacon, your chives, whatever.
Well, it's the same fucking vegetable, and it was just cooked a different way in a different style. And you don't think that can be, but you don't think it can be possible with the same fucking vegetable done in a slightly different way.
It never occurred to me. It never occurred to me.
This restaurant, like, I'm not insulting you and your love of this potato, but I think if you ordered even the Brussels sprouts side, it would be delicious. Like,
I got the asparagus in a béarnaise sauce. It was amazing.
This is what I mean. So it sounds like it's a great restaurant.
Yes.
Okay. I'm happy you had a lovely evening. Did you notice in the comments last week there are people?
No, only you go trolling through the comments, Jeff, to fight with people.
It's true.
No, I don't fight
or to
with
right
anybody.
wrong. Yes, you do. You right wrongs, or you correct mistakes, or
someone told me that I mistook Conan O'Brien for Phil Hartman. I said, "Oh, you're right. Conan wrote the episode. Apologies." People don't even know what a chicken ball is.
Didn't I tell you that on the show?
Maybe.
He wasn't listening.
Yeah.
People don't even know what a chicken ball is.
It's true.
That's insane. By the way, that's madness.
How is that?
I know they might eat real Chinese food. They don't know what the chicken ball is.
If you live in the West, you know what chicken balls are. They're not this obscure thing.
Apparently not, Tim.
Yes. I don't believe it. I don't believe that people don't know what sweet and sour chicken balls are. I refuse. This is not some obscure dish from our little corner of the globe. If you live in the West, you know what chicken balls are.
Now, would you include Europe in that?
Yeah, they're in the West.
Yeah, when you were in Europe, did you see a lot of chicken balls?
I haven't yet been to
that's
Europe physically.
Right.
But I was to Asia, and there were chicken balls at the Hong Kong airport.
Was it at the Hong Kong Manchu Walk?
No, maybe it was. I don't know what the name of the place was. I went to KFC anyway.
The place that he went to last night Jeff, is the same place that we had gone to earlier this year when I ordered the Wagyu. And then he came on here telling everyone that, if you don't order Wagyu, what are you even doing? You know what he didn't order last night?
I didn't order the Wagyu.
What's wrong with you? It's the only steak people should eat, according to you.
I couldn't bring myself to spend the money. I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. I wanted to. I just couldn't.
You talk about you go to the grocery store, you don't look at prices.
Yeah,
you
but the prices are right in front of you on a menu, Jeffrey. That's a little different.
They're right in front of you on the shelf too.
Yeah, but like you actually have to pick amongst an option. Like it's not quite the same thing. I know what you're driving at, but like I don't go through the packages of ground beef to find which is cheapest to take home. Like I just pick the first one that looks good. It's not like that with a menu exactly.
I agree.
This is really hurting your Tim Too Rich lifestyle here. Tim Too Cheap?
What do you mean?
Maybe.
I believe in frugality.
I don't know, but you just said you don't look to buy the cheaper things at the grocery store. You pay whatever.
Well, no, I'm not trying to save a buck or two here or there. I'm going to buy the pack of ground beef or whatever that looks the most attractive.
Then why would you come on here and say that the only steak you can buy is this steak and all other steak doesn't compare, and then you won't even order that steak? That seems worth it. It seems like a value. It seems like a value play, Tim Too Cheap. Why are you so cheap?
I don't know.
Could you afford it?
I couldn't. Sure. I could.
You should have done it.
No.
Treat yourself, Tim.
I already was. I got these potatoes they were so good too.
What's better, the potatoes or the Wagyu?
Totally different things. It's like they're apples and oranges. But like I have never eaten, and I've eaten a lot of mashed potatoes in my life. I grew up with eating meat, potato, vegetable, like 5 of 7 nights, my whole life. And like they were so creamy and good and like silky. I can't even describe it. It's like I was super impressed. And like it takes a lot to impress me. I was really impressed.
Headline, Tim rarely eats at good restaurants, Jeff, is what we're figuring out.
No, it's so easy to impress you. You're impressed by nothing. You're impressed by technological advances from a decade ago that you just find out about. You're so easily impressed. So I disagree with your statement.
We did have a Twitter, or someone just tweeted at all three of us. MV Freeze Elbow he's staying at the Thompson in Chicago, so shout out to that. We are happy to offer bath amenities in eco-friendly sizes, Tim, for use during your stay. If you would like to purchase our products, a $50 charge per item will be applied to your bill. So
what?
Yeah, no stealing. You've ruined this for everyone.
How do you use the stuff then without paying?
Oh, because you have the eco-friendly sizes, like the little ones, like the little ones, like single shot.
The hotels have gone so overboard.
Now Tim stole all their products.
No, but I mean, everything is. I respect the environment, but my carbon footprint isn't big enough where I lose.
Oh yeah, of course, Jeff. I think that global warming is real. I think there's a problem, but it's not my problem. Is your take?
I will say,
no, it's not my problem. You should get allotted credits you should get allotted credits, and I'll use my credits on when I go to a hotel. I don't want my room cleaned every 3rd day. I don't want my towels not touched. I want a plastic straw, and I'll use my credits on that. And other people can use their credits on their private planes and shit.
If we want to tackle environmental crises, and that's I support that, don't create things that will annoy people as a substitute for the things they had. Like the cardboard straw just makes people agitated and makes you think, whoever's in favor of this, I'm now against what they're in favor of because I just hate the straw so much.
I got you metal straws to use.
Yeah, but if you're going to McDonald's or you're going to somewhere,
you realize you can bring your metal straw with you. You can put it in like your little pocket holder.
Okay, but people aren't. Yes, you could, but people don't do that. Let's be serious.
Something I've
don't
almost
annoy
become
people.
I've almost become a fanny pack guy now in some situations.
Nice.
And I joked with my wife.
Everyone, once they get to a certain age, is a fanny pack person in every circumstance.
I just want to say, I joked with my wife that I think I need a little, like a case and a plastic straw. I mean, a metal straw, and I got to just leave it in my It's got to come on the road with me. But then I'll accidentally throw it out. So I need like a box of good straws, I guess. I don't know. But my carbon footprint isn't big enough where I need to sacrifice straws.
No, how about focusing more on preventing companies from sending huge amounts of pollution into the air and a little less attention on the cup holders and straws and lids that things come with, or the plastic cutlery that come with food. If you want to win the battle, don't agitate and annoy people who could be your allies, and make them enemies of a cause by annoying their personal annoyance. You know, it goes back to the wealth of nations, right?
If I want to let that shower run for 20 seconds before I get in, you better believe I'm going to do it.
People will always be convinced by speaking to their self-interest and their convenience rather than their sense of duty, right? It's not out of the self-goodness, self-esteem of the butcher or the brewer or the baker that you get your dinner, as Adam Smith says, but from their regard to their own self-interest. It's the same thing here. Don't create products that will annoy people and alienate them and say, well, but don't you feel good that you're doing your part for the environment? That will be a step backwards rather than a step forwards.
I agree with you. I think everyone listening agrees with you on that. But
I don't think so.
No,
I think there's a large contingent of people who say plastic straws are wicked.
They are just they're grandstanding. They're showboating for points. Clout.
They're
points.
winning, by the way. They're winning.
I miss bags at grocery stores. Those were nice.
Oh,
totally.
Like, it's a tragedy if I gotta run an errand and I don't have a bag on me.
And
like,
those things got reused. That was not a single-use plastic in almost any sense of the word. Everybody reused them.
Do you know what this shouldn't bother me, but I feel like such a I don't know, it feels so lowbrow to need to like shove a plastic bag in my pocket before I walk up the street to the grocery store that doesn't even offer them anymore.
It's ridiculous. Paper bags the worst.
I don't mind the paper bags, but I went the other day and they didn't even have paper bags. So I had to buy like $2-3 bags. I was like, I don't fucking want these.
Oh, the worst.
Or I had to carry all out my groceries all out my arms like this somehow.
The worst. Well, and it's the same with paper bags. Like, unless they're not completely full, you can't hold them by a handle the way you can with regular grocery bags. Oh, it's the worst.
I mean, I don't have.
Yeah, what are we doing here?
I mean, I don't mind the paper. The paper bags are fine because I just take my cart to my car, put them in, and then I'm good.
It's the carrying them. The carrying them is more awkward.
Yeah, but I'm not carrying them.
But you still are carrying them into the house.
I can take them in one at a time, Tim, or put two in my. I
don't know. I take everything at once.
Yeah, because you're fucking lazy.
No, I feel like I should try to get everything in one shot.
Yeah, I know, and you can't, and it causes problems for you. So eventually, after repeating the same process over and over and over, you think you just wise up. And you
are a party of one. Pat
Correct.
goes to the store. He's buying for 4 goddamn people.
You should see what I come back with from Costco. Jeff, you know how heavy those 32 packs of DC are?
So imagine what the guy who has to buy for 4 it comes back with.
Okay. Was I saying that I was buying more than him?
No, but you're like boasting about your ability to do it in one hit.
And no. He did not boast about his ability to do it in one hit. He boasted about his ability to try to do it in one hit. He can't do it in one hit. And that hasn't occurred to him.
You almost always do it in one.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
This is why you were talking about fucking elevator operators.
Oh, it's so annoying. It would be so great to have an elevator concierge who could, take the lift up and down for me. That would make my life so much easier. So I saw something today, and it sparked an idea in me. There is a local place that's offering this contest where if you eat like a huge pizza, you get it for free.
It's 7 pounds of pizza.
And you also get like money, and the money donated to a charity in your name.
So you didn't even get the
money. And it occurred to me, why aren't restaurants doing this all the time, all over the place? This would be such a great idea. If like everywhere, like if a Chinese restaurant had like a big, massive pyramid of chicken balls that you had to eat in 30 minutes, or if, a sub shop said, here's a 12-foot hoagie that you've got to eat in an hour or so. It's great publicity. You can give money to charity. People would be desirous to take on that challenge. It would be fun. Why aren't more places doing these types of contests where it's a eat something massive and get it for free and get some money and for charity? If not, then you lose and it keeps the stakes going. It would be so much fun to do.
I agree that it is a good promotional tool for like a really low rent place, because you see like low rent steak places or bars have this sort of thing with giant steaks that you can come on and eat, and you win and you get your name on the wall or something like that. It really kind of downgrades any place that is trying to have any sort of respectability to it, because
do you know how much I love to have my name on the wall for that type of credit?
I understand how much you would like it, and you also love like really shitty restaurants, so that would make a lot of sense that you would be really gravitating towards this. But Jeff, he kind of got into this with us as we were talking through it. He has no idea how to eat a lot of food, despite the fact that he eats a lot of food. It's really weird. Like, Tim, give us your initial strategy for eating the 7-pound pizza.
And you get to do it with another person. It's not just you. You get to do it with another person.
Sure, you and your teammate.
I show up with the tank as empty as humanly possible. I don't want there to be anything but empty space for the pizza that I'm going to deposit in there.
See, Jeff, do you think that is a good strategy or a bad strategy?
No, that's a horrible strategy.
Exactly.
Because I know a lot of people have probably had this happen where like you really eat so little that you're so ravenous that you order like so much food, and then like 5 bites in, like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. You're not nearly as ravenous, or it doesn't have the effect. But I don't think that is a good strategy. This is all grotesque, and I feel like I've said it before, but I did this once, and my name is on the wall. I don't even know if it still exists. It's Shula's Steakhouse in Tampa. I ate one of those things, and then I was on a trip for Jay's spring training in my younger years.
And did you have the tank empty when you got there, or had you eaten 3 bags of chips and a half a case of Diet Coke before you got there? Apparently you're supposed to do.
No, see, this was Tim's 2 options, because we told him like this is a terrible idea, because when you don't eat and you're like starving yourself, your stomach is going to shrink, so you're not going to be able to actually pile in any of this food. You're going to hit a breaking point, and you're just not going to be hungry anymore, and you're not going to be able to eat it. And then Tim counters with, all right, well, I'll drink a 6-pack of Diet Coke and have 2 bags of chips. It's like, well, now you're completely fucking full. Like, have a few.
Yeah, the carbonation isn't good either. I don't think
it's not.
I don't understand that.
Have a glass of water and like a few crackers or a light salad or something like that.
Go talk to Hustler. I think he's like judges some competitive eating. He'd be the man I think you should talk to.
Well, Cam would be able to tell us what to do.
Why? Why would Cam be able to tell you what to do?
He's been in like eating contests, has he not?
He's in eating contests. Like, he showed up to Shula's shows and they're like, hey, Cam, bet you can't eat these 70 wings. And he gets drunk and tries to eat them all. That's not a professional eater, Tim. Professional eaters look like my guy, fucking Kobayashi from Japan, who's banned from competitive eating. But he was the best. He was like 110 pounds.
It is so rare for Cam to come on that show and tell a story I haven't heard of. But Cam just being a dressed up piece of hashish
as the hash man.
That was right before he started working at Fantasy as well, because I remember
when he gave the timeline, I was like, yeah, that must have been in that like little window where before we brought him into Fantasy, and oh my god, I died.
Yeah, because I remember him and Gabe, like at nighttime twice a week, were doing this like weed show on some weird stream with what seemed to be the sketchiest person in the world. And then all of a sudden Cam is just working at Fantasy, and then he was on some site.
That very sketchy person ran a very reliable door-to-door delivery business.
Now that has become legalized. And that was pre-legalization.
Yeah. They're still I don't know. I feel like because I have some of these services, but then you'll get these random texts like, buddy left our team and he stole the contact list and he's starting his own delivery service, and you're going to get emails. There's like some delivery service wars going on.
Interesting.
Right now.
Would not have thought that. Although Tim's strategy for competitive eating seems very terrible. Like, Tim, I would out eat you in a competitive eating contest.
Well, maybe, but it's just like,
it wouldn't even be close.
I don't even know if I could do it. I think I could, but I'm not out here to say I'm like a pro eater. I'm not a pro eater. I love watching eating competitions on TV. Like if I'm flipping through the dials and there's an eating competition, I'm on. I'm watching it.
No,
How
thank
often are
in.
those
no,
on?
thank you.
Not as often as they used to be. I feel
4th
like
of July.
Spike TV used to have a lot of those
Oh.
on, if memory serves. But those were like you stop, you watch. People like eating 100 chicken wings or trying to avoid a reversal of fortune, which is what it's called when a person throws up.
But
eating too much.
it happens all the time. It's fucking disgusting. Like whenever you watch competitive eating competition, it's just like watching it when it's
so
on the
cool.
challenge. It's not cool. It's just a bunch of people fucking throwing up the entire time. It's gross.
It's repulsive.
I'm
How
not
they have to
repulsed
eat
by
the
it.
hot dogs and shit. That's gross.
Oh, you're just
I
like
think
that
it's
guy. I remember when in like the late '90s, Jeff, and you could get Jerry Springer Too Hot for TV on VHS. And the very first one was the guy who was like having beats to women throwing up on him. I think that's Tim.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
No, what I'm saying is
Coming
I
out,
think it's really tough.
and then Steve Wilkos would be there before he coached the Panthers. It was a whole thing.
I just think it's
Talking like,
really
Jeff the Vomit guy.
it's just really hard to eat competitively. And like, I just think it's interesting when people do it. And I think it's good publicity for these restaurants. And I think that more places should do it.
No, Pat nailed it. It's like a low rent restaurant thing. It's like a wing joint. Like, come
So
see
what?
if you can beat the guy's record for Armageddon wings. You want the place where you got that table side Yukon mashed potato. Those sorts of places don't offer these low rent.
You're right.
Come here, gorge yourself like an
right.
animal.
And the places that you're talking about, the low rent places, a lot of the time can't afford to be putting on these sort of promotions, just giving shit away for free. So it's a give and take.
Make it a really tough challenge. And there are consequences if you fail. You have to pay for it.
Okay.
I just think it's
got this week.
What's that?
I hope he's got something else.
Hey,
Hope he's
listen,
got,
we're into week 20 right now. We're running thin here. I'll cobble together a best of, and we'll be good to go. I did have something for him. Oh, yeah, no, almost on the same vein of this, because we were arguing about Tim's favorite Chinese place last night. We were just sending him all the one-star
we weren't
reviews.
arguing about it. You came out of nowhere with these nasty reviews that you were posting in our chat thread. It came out of left field that we weren't even having a chat at that moment. The thread had been silent for a couple hours. And you just come right aboard me, like trying to, to commandeer my vessel like a pirate on the high seas by swinging across with all these terrible, Yelp reviews or whatever, which are not consistent at all with the types of experiences I've had there. And B, I'm not even sure are on the up and up.
Yeah, it's funny because there was the reason that it came up because I read this negative review of the place, Jeff, and the way that they described why they hated it is exactly how Tim would describe why he likes it a lot, which I just thought was hilarious.
You're right about that. The first one was like, oh, there's way too much sauce on the chicken ball. Oh, you just want to eat dry batter then? That's what you want? Like, get bent. You want lots of sauce on the chicken balls. That way you can pour it on your rice or pour it on your egg rolls or you can pour it on
what
stuff.
sort of like health inspection? Like, is this sort of like just a conditional pass kind of place?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the last place that Tim was big on, like the really shitty steak place that he loves going in our region, there's two of them. One of them just closed due to lack of interest, and the other place
hasn't closed yet.
Oh, it hasn't closed yet, so you can keep going to it. The only one that will now remain open continuously gets shut down because there's mice shit and everything.
Come on, Tim.
Steakenstein?
Yeah, that's the place.
Yeah, I looked at the menu and I was just like, nah.
Yeah, the $7 steak wasn't doing it for you.
We'll go somewhere else.
But
I will say nothing but nice things about those places. They've always treated me well.
But one thing that
I'm a loyal customer. You're not. I'm a loyal customer.
No, I go to
places.
I go to different places all the time to actually try them. And then if I go back to a place, it's usually because I like it, not because I had been there before.
Yeah,
No,
Pat
I'm a
goes to
loyal
places
customer.
where the maitre d' might know him, and it's a nice place.
There is no maitre d' at this place, Jeff.
No, I'm talking
please.
about the places where Tim's like at the.
I
they
get
know
recognized
me,
at
I'm
McDonald's
loyal.
during Monopoly. I get recognized at
Pat
McDonald's
is
during Monopoly.
loyal. Pat is loyal at places with like a maitre d'. They're like, "Hello, Mr. Mayo, welcome back."
I mean, I don't really frequent the same places all that often, to tell you the truth. I generally, like, if something new comes up, I like to try that. Or if there's a place I haven't been, I'll go out of my way to go to a place that I haven't been versus consistently going to the same place. There's a few places that I've gone, like, if I know, like, I'm going out with Tim or something like that, or I have friends in town, I'll bring them to a place that I know is pretty good. But if it's just me and my wife going out, then, fuck, we'll try wherever.
I like what I like. And I like to patronize the places that I like to patronize.
But you don't know what you like. As soon as I moved back and we started going to all these new restaurants, all of a sudden these new restaurants have really moved up your power rankings. They were always there.
I don't think I've disliked one of them. I think that I've really enjoyed them.
But you would have never gone there, ever. You would have
Probably
never tried
not.
a new place.
Probably not.
But shouldn't that give you an indication that maybe you should be trying some more places? That all of these other places that you went to are pretty good?
I have nothing against trying new places. Nothing against that. But it's just like, I also do believe in loyalty as a customer.
Why?
Just the way I was raised.
There is no loyalty in being a customer. That doesn't make any sense. The company should be loyal to you, not the other way around.
Well, they continue to put out what I think is a delicious product.
I mean, is it
Can
delicious?
I tell you?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Jeff. Sorry.
I feel bad, but I'm happy at the same time. Literally up the street from me just opened a pizza joint that is like my favorite in the city. Even when somebody who does pizza reviews was in town, I think it was one of his top Toronto scores, maybe his top Toronto score.
Now, does this new place also have a big anti-vax agenda?
No, you're talking about a barbecue joint I liked in an industrial part of town that the guy went hardcore anti-vax, and that was barbecue.
Did you have to throw the sauce out? Did you have to throw the sauce out?
I never saw the sauce again. So I don't know what my wife did with it, but the last time we were there, before everything went to shit, I bought like the take-home sauce because I love the sauce. And then when he went on his campaign, I never saw the sauce again. But there's this little like Italian guy that's got a pizza joint down the street, and I feel
Is his name Little Caesar?
No, it's like DiVincenzi or something. Anyway, I felt so bad.
Hey,
I felt so bad for him that I bought a pizza from him last week, even though I wanted the newer place because I'm like, this guy's so screwed. And I like this man, and he makes a decent pizza, but he is so screwed because this place just moved in, and he's in big trouble.
Okay, see, I can see more of it in, like, that is a mom and pop shop. Tim is loyal to fucking, like, McDonald's.
Well, yes.
But
that's not the only major company I'm supportive of.
No, that's the thing. Like, Jeff is trying to support, like, local community, small business, and you're like, I support major corporations. They have my loyalty for life because I'm a loyal person. Like, that's ridiculous.
I mean, if there were mom and pop spots, there's a coffee shop that's by my place. It's sort of mom and poppy that I go to on occasion.
On occasion, but you go to, like, Tim Hortons and Starbucks every day.
Well, that's what I like.
Okay, then there you go. Okay, never mind then.
Oh, actually, although I really haven't recently.
What?
I think I've been to Tim Hortons once in the last 2 weeks.
Well, you live by a Starbucks, so that helps.
I live by a Tim Hortons as well.
Yeah, but Starbucks is better.
I've been to Starbucks twice in the last couple of weeks.
Oh, you're really cutting down on the caffeine, huh?
Well, I've been making coffee at home or whatever.
Yeah, well, Jeff, the point I was trying to make like 10 minutes ago, and I got completely sidetracked from, was around here, the portion sizes are way too big. And then people complain that the portion sizes aren't big enough. It's truly confusing. Like, how much food do people need?
People want as much food as possible for as little money as possible.
I know.
Would you say that they're like way bigger than here?
Yes, it's like being in America. Like, it's the first thing that anyone,
Not
like,
quite.
for America, I mean, it's pretty close compared to, like,
Not quite.
Coming from Toronto to here, like, it's outrageous. It seems very different than, like, one thing non-Americans will tell Americans about going to America is just the amount of food that shows up when you order something is fucking mind-boggling.
Insane. Somewhat like I'm used to it. I love going to a good American like eatery and the amount of food will get put on your plate. But if you're someone that doesn't travel and you're literally just going to the States and you order a meal, they put 3 meals in front of you.
Yeah.
Compared to literally the serving sizes we get here. And maybe people are looking at like, Well, if that's the case, Feinberg. How are you so fat? Well, Billy likes soda. But yeah, no, it is. Yeah. Unless you like the Cheesecake Factory opened here a few years ago, you can go there. You get your American style, portions.
Yeah, there's a few places where you can go to get giant.
I'm pro
portions.
big portions, by the way.
No,
you guys
shit.
are both anti big
no,
portions.
no shit, Tim.
No, but you can take it home with you.
I don't mind big pork. I'm not complaining.
Yeah, I think it's actually a
noticeably
weird corner
different.
to be in. To be pro small portions, it's a very weird corner to post up in. And it's yours. You can have it, but I think it's very strange. I'm pro big portions, and if you can't eat it all, take some home. I also think there's no shame in taking home leftovers. None at all.
I just prefer. I mean, what was the main reason? Like you're doing a great job getting slim and trim, Tim. I will give you a lot of credit for that. But what was the one piece of advice that I gave you off the hop that you started doing?
Well, you gave me several pieces of advice.
Well, in terms
which
of,
I've been trying to follow.
In terms of plates.
Eat off my salad plates rather than my dinner plates.
Because why is
which
that?
is what I have been doing.
Because why?
Because
Is
it
that?
seems like you're eating more because it fills up more of the space.
That's a
And
good idea.
the portion is way smaller. Yet guess what, Tim? You're still full.
Yeah, like I made one of those bird's nest type Chinese noodles or whatever yesterday. I thought it'd be way too small, but it filled up my salad plate.
Yeah, it filled up your salad plate, and then you were full. Now, normally, if you had the big plate, you would have probably made double and ate double what you had. But
I usually have to chug like 2 or 3 bottles of water afterwards to feel full. But whatever, I do it.
you could just wait, and then you would feel full.
All
I'm saying is that
I hate that.
the reason that I'm not pro big portions, like sometimes, yeah, gigantic portions are hilarious, like at an all-you-can-eat breakfast or something like that. Every now and then, but every meal that you get around here is it's 3 times the meal that you need. And then people eat it, and then they complain that they're super fat.
Well, but you don't need to eat it all. You can take it home. I don't think anyone's telling you have to.
No, but do you know what it's like to have like an entire meal in front of you? I mean, you were the one who said, if you finish everything on your plate, it seems to be a very common sentiment amongst people, is that if the food is in front of you, you're going to eat it.
It's the way I was raised. I was raised that it's disrespectful not to eat every single piece of food that's on your plate.
Why is it disrespectful?
Because somebody worked hard to make that meal for you and put it in front of you, and show them respect by eating the whole thing. That's sort of
It's such like an 1890s attitude.
Anyway, that's the way I was raised. I mean, especially if you were like not eating at home. If you went up to somebody's house, you definitely ate every piece of food that was on their plate because again, you're a guest. But that's where we got started. Anyway, I'm pro big portion sizes.
Yeah,
Life is expensive. Life is hard. People should get the most bang for their buck. I'm here for that. Again, I'm a man for the people.
Yeah.
Bang for their buck is fine with me.
And
You don't have to eat it all.
You know, if you're that kid working.
I feel like I'm in the minority with my point of view on this. I fully acknowledge that most people love big portions. That's why big portions exist, because people love them so much. I'm just saying that people don't need big portions.
Yeah, you're probably right, but I always
Mayor Bloomberg.
I always respect if the guy at Duke's wants to top off those fries extra nice, or when you're going for ice cream and the kid with the scooper, puts a little on top. Is Cam, our friend Cam, always.
Oh, there are McDonald's. I mean,
when you go to those,
when you go in person, there
when
were
you go
days
to
at
those-
McDonald's I wouldn't order certain things if I could see who was working, and I would order certain things if I saw who was working, because I knew they'd give me extra or wouldn't give me extra.
Oh my god!
You can just
Cam
you can
loves,
just order more.
work it. Cam would always work the ladies with the ladle at the Chinese, be it the noodles, the chicken balls, whatever. Work that ladle extra hard.
Sure, why not?
I'm just saying that it's unnecessary, and I think it causes problems.
I
for people.
agree.
I'm not. I'm,
You
call
on
me.
the Best Bet show. You ask whether people are pro small portion sizes or big portion sizes.
I mean, I've already acknowledged what, Tim? What did I say?
That you think you're on the minority. Although I don't know that you thought that at the start of this conversation.
I mean, I'm not an idiot. I'm not you who thinks that every opinion that I hold is the majority opinion.
I don't know. You seem to think that your opinion is the majority opinion almost all the time, actually, I would say.
No, I would say that I believe that. I mean, against you, when you make some sort of outrageous claim, then I am very good at differentiating between when I think that I'm right, which I think that I am about this, although I don't think that people agree with me on it. That's 2 separate things. I'm a very good arbiter of what people think and what people don't think, especially when it pertains to your ridiculous comments.
When I was younger, when we went out to eat, almost the first criterion for my father was what place gave the best portion sizes. And the first criticism of places would often be that they didn't give enough. So that was ingrained in me from a young age. Places that had like all you can eat salad bars, like all you can eat means all you can eat. But see, this dovetails lovely with my idea that all new restaurants should be obliged to have an all you can eat buffet of some sort. No, it's true. Again, it's a perfect idea. It's a
one of your
perfect
worst
idea.
takes.
No, it's a great take.
Let's get to the next.
It's a great
one.
take.
It's not a good.
Can I actually?
Yeah,
Pat,
go ahead. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have one thing that needs to be addressed here, and I feel like it's so common sense. Or sorry, not common sense. I feel like a lot of people have thought about this, and maybe it's even been discussed. But these new modern cars, they're not even modern. Even cars are probably like 8 years ago. They're like you're like wearing a signal to people who want to snatch and grab things in the car. When you lock the car, the rear view mirrors go side in. When you don't lock the car, they stay in their position.
Oh, that's really smart.
And anyone can just scope the block and see the cars where the rear view mirror or the side view mirrors are, haven't been, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, my car does that, and it has forced me to. It reminds me to lock my car every time I get out of it.
It is a clear signal. Like they literally, your car is like wearing a sign that says "rob me." Now, I understand it is the responsibility of a person to lock their car, but I don't think if I don't lock my car, that my car should stand out because it's not locked in a way that locked cars do.
Well, I don't know if there is a way to turn that on or turn it off. I have no idea, but you have the trade-off of did you forget to lock your car and someone's going to break in because they see that, or just the chances of someone knocking off your side mirror go through the roof if it's like that.
It's like 50-50.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's exactly the sort of person that I'm talking about. The guy that just texts when he drives the entire time and might sideswipe a whole bunch of cars and knock off their mirrors and just keep on driving.
But it's a parked car, it's 50-50.
It's a parked car, it's 50-50. You don't need to stop, Jeff.
I guess, but I just picture like Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern. They can just drive the block and see who's left, who hasn't hit lock tonight.
Yes, because there's one set of thieves that were really good at their job. It was the sticky bandits.
Well,
that's how you succeed in life.
You
know, they only got out because there was a prison riot for a second crime spree, which they also got caught in like 3 days for. I never understood why they just left the kid alone. Okay, he's got photos of them. This is the thing about two that always got me. Okay, they have photos of Marv and Harry breaking into the toy chest. They are fugitives from the law who broke out of prison. Their photos are everywhere. Why would anyone be surprised that they're at Duncan's toy chest committing crimes? They are escapees from prison. Of course they're out doing crime while they're on the lam. Why would they chase the kid down who put them in prison and fight through the house because he had photos of them when they already had their photos on America's Most Wanted every Saturday for breaking out of prison? Explain to me that.
And you're the same one who drafted Home Alone 2 over Home Alone in our best Christmas movie.
It's a better movie.
Really?
Doesn't mean it doesn't have a. It
sounds like it might be full of plot holes.
Although it has a plot hole you can drive a Mack truck through. But that doesn't mean it's not a better movie. It's just more entertaining and fun. But why do they care that the kid has photos of them? I don't understand it. I'm tired of people telling me the things that I can't do.
Oh, God.
It's like, oh, I can't have a heated driveway. Oh, I can't do cross-country skiing. Oh, I can't do moguls. I can do these things. I think the moguls is the hardest. So I'll say I probably would have trouble with that. But people telling me that it'd be easier for me to do moguls than cross-country ski.
I see. It was me. Hold on. I told
want that.
This is not the argument.
Backstory.
Yeah, he was having these arguments with like all of our friends this week in our group thread. And listen, Tim is not designed to cross-country ski. Just not. because he was asking if cross-country skiing is harder than downhill skiing. And I suppose it depends on the levels that you want to go at. If you go to some top of like super double cross blue diamond, most treacherous, yeah, you could hit a tree and die on the way downhill skiing. That would make it harder, I would assume. But realistically, you go to the top of the hill, you come down the hill. Cross-country skiing, it's like a endurance muscle cardio sport, not the Tim Andercust specialty, put it that way.
But you said I wouldn't get 100 meters.
I don't think you would move.
Again, that's foolish. Of course I'd move.
Like, you could step with the skis on, sure. That's not really doing it.
And you glide. You just get some momentum
He could
going.
do
and
like
you start to
he
glide
wouldn't
a
have
little
to
bit.
do some super long distance cross country.
No.
Like I don't. It just
No,
seems
the idea that I wouldn't get
it
100
honestly
meters?
seems very leisure. Like it actually
Yes.
seems way more up Tim's alley. Than,
Thank you, Jeff.
Have you ever
Thank
been?
you.
I don't
Have you
picture-
ever been cross-country skiing?
No, and I've a big ski family, a lot of winters away with like winter cottages and such like that. And I gave it up to stay home and watch football, in my teenage years. No, I never tried it because it just seemed like boring. And you're right. Like we'd family do it. They'd disappear for half the day. They'd be on some like a hike, but cross country skiing. I just think like a short distance cross country ski excursion is way more up Tim's alley than me picturing like his knees over his belly button as he's doing moguls.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Jeff.
but all he has to do is run into the moguls and then fall down. So of course he could do it.
It's just like people are like, oh, you couldn't possibly do 100 meters cross country skiing. Like, what are you talking about?
I
People love to think about all things I can't do.
Well, you said that you could do it, and you said, "I bet you it's pretty easy." And I was like, "No, cross country skiing is incredibly. If you're on a complete like, if you're on some sort of manicured track, but if you just go out and it's like fresh powder that's in there, you ain't going anywhere, pal."
Oh, you see people in cities all the time cross country skiing during a snowstorm to work or whatever. Like,
you see it all the time, Jeff. You see that all the time, do you?
You see that on the news
No,
every
he just-
storm.
He's
There's
talking about
somebody
like
on
just
TV
a
doing this.
generic like clip on the news of like,
You
dude,
always see it.
Tim, what about snowshoeing? Wouldn't that just be more easier up
Yeah.
your alley?
I'm
That
sure
would be
remarkably
perfect.
easy.
I'm just you have no upper body strength. You wouldn't be able to get yourself going.
But my legs are stronger than my arms.
Your legs are stronger
get
than your
moving.
arms. That is true. But my legs are stronger than your legs, and you're carrying 2.5 times the weight.
But
I don't know. I think my legs are pretty darn strong. I'd get myself moving.
I think he could do like a 45-minute hour.
Thank you.
Oh,
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm
We're not talking about the King's race from the Olympics. I'm talking about like a kilometer or two, back and forth. Very doable. Eminently doable.
Now,
yeah,
you-
like a big lap around like some property. That
Yes,
he,
exactly.
you know,
We're not talking
vacation
about
with.
exactly, Jeff.
what
Exactly.
what happens the first time there is even a modicum of an incline?
You have the poles. You use the
You
poles
just said
for leverage.
you have no strength. You're not going anywhere.
I have enough strength, and I have the poles to keep
He's
myself
still in
going.
his 30s. He's not like brittle. Like
Well, this is it, right? Like
The
again,
guy
it's
the guy that can't stand up without limping? That guy?
again, people love to
the
tell
guy
me all
that
things I can't do.
the guy that watching football is too taxing on for his body.
well, it can be. Football can be emotionally exhausting.
Yes,
okay?
it can. You can be drained at the end of a game. You have no energy left. 100. Jeff and I are on the exact same page.
It is really embarrassing. You've been out watching football all day. You come home, the wife's been great with the kids, and you kind of just want to like, you don't understand. I'm exhausted. Like that took so much out of me.
100% agree. And Jeff probably agrees with me too that all homes being built from here forward, if possible, in cold climates, should have heated driveways.
Oh, you gotta be able to afford it. I mean,
Jeff is saying the exact argument. No one said that having a heated driveway was a bad idea. Everyone just said it's a fucking waste of money.
and I'll tell you this about it. Like, I've got a friend who's building a house, and we all call them crazy for doing it because, like, you gotta have so much extra liquid to do it. But the heated driveway, it also sort of, that part of the project happens closer to the end, and you're already so over budget where like I've seen people plan for it and scrap it because it's like it's one of the last things that you install and you're kind of all over budget. But if you've got the cheddar, oh my God. Yeah, you live in Canada, and if you're building if you can afford to build a nice multi-car garage house in 2023, in a nice neighborhood, for sure, get that heated driveway.
Well, this was it. People were saying, "Oh, it's too expensive," and I understand that it's an expense.
It is.
That's a very fair point. But at the same time, like, what's your health worth? What's your comfort worth? Like, not to have to go out and shovel.
But who's building a custom home who doesn't have like?
Well,
money?
this is it too. If you can build your own home, you can afford to put a heated driveway.
Well,
Hold on. If you can afford to build your own home, you can afford the extra $75,000 to $100,000 for a heated driveway.
You could do it cheaper than that, I'm sure.
Really, you're sure? How sure are you?
How much do you think like a basic driveway costs? Because
There
I have to replace my very basic driveway.
Yeah, probably $7,000-8,000.
I imagine it's like the systems they
Little
have
bit
under
more, but
those fancy
pretty
golf
close.
courses, right? Like, I don't know. I can't imagine what goes into heating the driveway from underground.
Well,
Yeah, it's probably like I would imagine it's like a $20K additional expense, which
Way more.
it's not.
That's-
It's
real
way,
money.
it's
That's real
way
money.
more than that.
way more.
You were told
Way
how much
more.
it costs, and now you're just choosing not to
Well, it
believe
depends
it.
how large. Also depends how large. If you're somebody with a really really long driveway, like some of our friends have super long driveways, it very well might cost that much for them. But if you don't have a crazy long driveway, you should have one. Like it wouldn't be super expensive.
Talking about
and,
like a brand new building project on like a lot that you can.
Shoveling is risky and dangerous, and no one likes to do it. And it's really nice to have that all that snow melted when you wake up. Everyone else is
This
up there
is literally
shoveling. and
just
you-
like saying you should
but-
only fly first class or something. Like it's not possible. Like it's such a crazy take. As much as
Also, Jeff, just remember, cross-country skiing for 45 minutes to 60 minutes, easy. Shoveling your driveway, kind of risky.
Well,
I
it is
love-
risky. People who
I
are healthy
love, like,
drop
the-
dead every year, unfortunately, from shoveling-based accidents.
the alternate Tim universe where he drives like a Bentley SUV, goes out for Wagyu beef, comes home to his heated driveway.
Well, the whole point came up, too, is that it's a complete waste of fucking money where we are. How many times, Jeff, do you think we've had to shovel snow so far this winter in Canada?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not in the same place. I've had a really light winter,
Once.
maybe like 3. Okay, yeah, so we're at about probably 3 here. I'm not even kidding.
So what if, let's say, you just paid someone to come plow your driveway every single year? You could pay them $50. You could pay them $100 ago, and you'd have it left over $70,000
to your house. You're not adding to the resale
It's
value.
it's harder to sell that house. You realize that?
It's not harder to sell.
Yes, it
Other
is.
people just fire it up.
Hi, I'm Tim. I've never bought a home or sold a home. Let me tell you about how real estate
Yeah.
works.
Why would I want nicer things in my house? What an outlandish.
Now, I
thing,
will
yeah.
say, in defense of Tim, if you are like building a house in a certain neighborhood, you
Sure.
probably do want it
where
for
where you
resale.
where you live and you
exactly.
live on the bridle path, sure. Where I live,
Don't-
people would laugh you out of the fucking building.
I didn't realize Jeff lived on the bridle path.
Don't live on the bridal path.
Hey, you
That
live
would
within
explain
10
all the
minutes of it.
That would explain all the fancy ski weekends in Aspen that you were skipping.
No, I did skip a few, but I don't know. I didn't want to be in close quarters with my. If you get to a certain age, you don't want to be in like close chalet quarters with your family.
Paul,
Anyway,
Paul has a comment.
I just want to poke holes in the fact that Tim is like talking about how people have like heart attacks and hurt themselves shoveling their driveway. It's like those exact same people. Imagine they tried to
Cross-country
cross-country
ski.
ski for an hour.
Well, no,
They
sometimes
die.
people who are perfectly healthy who just overexert themselves, and like shoveling is extraordinarily taxing on you. If you're rushing to shovel, you will do great. You can do very great damage to yourself. Do not rush. There's nothing tough or masculine or important. Do not rush. Take your time. It's a very, very, very intensive thing to do.
You realize it's far less taxing than cross-country skiing, right?
Okay, but I'm not saying I can do a super long race in cross country skiing.
You just
Like
said you
Jeff
could
did.
do. You just said you could do 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, that's what Jeff said, and I agree with him. I think
but
Jeff
you
did the
also
same
say you need
I
a
agree.
break every 15 minutes when you shovel.
for safety.
So on the cross-country trail, there might not be a bench every 12 minutes.
I'll bring a thermos with me. You got a backpack on? I'll have a thermos with me.
He's adding weight to himself now.
Oh, it doesn't weigh that much.
What else is going to be in your?
I've never. And listen, congratulations to you. I hear that you've kicked, some of the sweets, or you've kicked the M&Ms out of your house because they went
completely.
broke.
There's nothing in my house that's easy to eat. Anything you want to eat here, you have to work at.
Yeah, so congratulations to you on that. The one I will say, cross country skiing, it does seem like 99% of the people that do it are in incredible shape. They're incredibly slender,
the fittest people on earth.
Yeah, they're like incredibly slender humans. When you see this like train of cross-country skiers heading into their trail, there's no one that looks like me in that group, I promise. Yeah,
they cross-country ski in the winter and they run marathons in the summer. But Tim also ran.
I ran a half marathon. Exactly. So
we ran a half marathon, and he's still wearing the medal to this day.
So what we learned from this is that cross-country skiing, the hardest thing on earth, and heated driveway is no good.
You see, again, you taking that away from what was being said is why you're going to win Most Insane at the Custies again.
I don't know. Just by bringing up a theory of a discussion of how Jeff understands the Super Bowl led to him laughing uproariously for 5 minutes.
No, that was because of what happened. I was still in a giggle fit because I was confused as to what happened before we even started recording. Yeah, well, I don't know. These are weird takes. When you first said, I don't like people telling me I can't do something, I thought that was going like back to like some Derrick Henry related situation.
Well, that annoys me too. You can't cross-country ski, Tim. Oh, no, you can never just put on a ski and move one foot in front of the other. That's the hardest thing on the face of the earth. You'd have an easier time splitting the atom than doing that. Okay, if you say so.
I feel like you would have an easier time splitting the atom than doing that.
Yeah, okay.
You're a pretty technical guy. You're a smart guy. You could probably figure that out.
Yeah, I don't know that nuclear.
Sorry. I
What
was
were
going
you
to
saying?
ask if Tim can water ski because his family
No, he
lives on the
can't
lake.
water ski.
If you can't
I've
water
never really
ski, I
attempted-
don't think
I've never
you.
really
I don't
attempted
think
to
you
water
can
Why didn't you attempt to water ski?
I just never bothered. I
Just
like
can't
to be
do it.
pulled around with tubes.
You like to be pulled on.
Yeah, we have one of these big tubes that you get on, and then you just get pulled around on. I far prefer that. It's more fun that way.
Cross-country skiing and tobogganing, there's really no difference between the two of them. That's like tubing versus water skiing.
I wish we had GT racers. I was a good tobogganer on my GT racer.
We used to have pretty competitive GT racing trials, like 12, 13 people, especially with people like on the back ready to tackle you and take your head off, and you have to dodge them the entire time. I feel like you would not have done well at that.
I don't know. I think I'd have been fine.
You'd get hit once and you'd quit.
No, I wouldn't.
Hey, real soft.
I played football. I don't quit just because I get hit.
You played 1 year of you played 1 year of football when you were like 13.
Yeah, something like that. 13, 14.
Tim,
Yeah.
what would you rather put into your home, a heated driveway or a swimming pool? Because I'd 100% pick a pool.
I would prefer a natatorium, which is an indoor swimming pool. That I would take over a heated driveway, but I would take the heated driveway over an outdoor swimming pool. I don't want to be outdoors swimming, and you can only use it a few months of the year. Oh, I can use it for like 3 weeks in June, then July, August,
How many
maybe
weeks
in
you get
September.
in driveway
Yeah, how
for?
often are you? The whole point was how often are you using this fucking heated driveway?
Yeah, but what it's preventing me from having to do is worth the 4 or 5 times that it's not worth, that I don't
No,
want to.
because you can still pay, like you can pay the best, the guy that'll be there before everybody. Like you can pay even for a higher end removal guy.
Yeah, I pay
But
my
you-
guy. I pay my guy $100, and he comes twice. He comes before I wake up, and then if it snows more during the day, he comes back again. It's easy.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like
Like,
that.
I'm
I'd
just
rather-
saying there's still a way to get-
Why don't you like that?
I would rather be able to flip a switch and it would just all melt for me.
So you'd rather pay upwards of $100,000 rather than paying $500 a winter.
Well, if you had a super crazy long driveway, that's different. It would become
If you have any driveway, what's the fucking difference?
No, I don't agree. I think it's a nice feature and it adds to the resale value of the house, and it's a really cool thing. But would I rather an indoor swimming pool than that? Yes, I would. Then you can swim 12 months of the year.
Your laziness would make that room smell so terrible.
You know how much it costs to have an indoor pool?
Well,
I just looked it up.
Slightly more. I'm sure it's slightly more than an in-ground outdoor pool.
How much do you
Yes.
think it costs? Give me a figure.
Like to put one in your house?
Yes.
Is that what you're at? Is that what the price you have is, Paul?
Yeah.
I'd say $25,000.
Way
No,
more, I
that's
think.
like you're spending more if you actually have like an
That's
in-ground
like to make
outdoor
the
pool.
room.
You're probably spending like 30,000-40,000. An indoor pool, according to the Google, says
Mandatory.
about $200,000.
Yeah, there was a person who had an indoor pool who lived like down the street from me growing up. When they went to go sell the house, they had to get rid of the indoor pool because no one fucking wanted it. It hurt the resale value of the house.
I would want an indoor pool.
They're big mold hazards.
There you go.
Yeah, no one want. I don't think people do that anymore
No, they don't.
at all. And I can't believe you would rather a heated driveway and then a pool over a heated driveway and just pay someone $500 to clear your driveway.
Well, first, I'm not going to use an outdoor pool very much.
I mean,
Let's be honest.
let's face it, you're not going to use an indoor pool very much either.
Oh no, that's different. And then I'm not outside where I have to deal with the weather and this, getting that and the other, and I have to be like outdoors. I get to be inside. I get to control the climate that I'm in. I get to, I get to swim indoors, which is really nice. I don't know. Of course, I would use. I'd use it every day if I had.
Well, I assume it'd be
indoor
a heated pool outdoors.
pool.
and-
Yes, even still, like you still have to be outside, and then
I'm just saying, if I did like put an extra $80K into a luxury, I would definitely pick a outdoor pool over a heated driveway, like 100 times. Living in Canada.
That's an interesting pull. If you had $80K and you had to spend it on a luxury item for yourself, what would you spend it on?
Because I can still spend 500 and have the guy here first.
I agree.
I still don't have to clear my snow. That's the point. I'm still not clearing my snow, and I have a pool.
I don't want a pool is the thing. I don't want the heated driveway either. I think I just spend that money and divvy it up and have some net jets and fly like private places. I think that's a better.
so you wouldn't want a heated driveway. So you're opposed to heated driveways.
I mean, I don't care. I mean, yeah, okay. If you gave me no cost involved, heated driveway versus non-heated driveway, yes, of course, I would want the heated driveway. That's not
Okay, what are we arguing about?
because we told you that's not reality. You seem to think that it's just super easy to install, super cheap. Yay, might as well just have a heated driveway. Why don't people have heated driveways, Jeff?
Well, if you
I
can
don't
afford
get
to
it.
build your own house.
I feel like you don't understand the cost of anything.
Well, it would be cheaper to put it in while you're building it rather than afterwards. We have
Sure,
to
yeah,
tear the
You know
driveway
what? You know what? That is correct. It would be cheaper to put it in while you were building it than replace a driveway and then put it in. You are correct on that. You realize that houses vary in how much they cost to build, right?
Of course they do.
No, I don't think you know that.
Yes, I do know that. I'm not a moron.
Do you? Well, you just said if you can afford to build your own house, you can afford a heated driveway. That's not true.
What's tacking on an extra 30K gonna do? Like Jeff said, you're running over anyway. Like you
No,
might as well
I
get-
guess. Okay,
might as well
sorry.
get
if
it.
you're-
You might as well get your dream home the way you want it.
Hey, I'm
If you're
Tim. I've
building a
clearly never
luxury
applied for a mortgage.
But I guess this goes like everything with Tim. Like if you're building a luxury home, then maybe you have a heated driveway and a pool. But I don't know. Do people custom build from scratch? Like, how do I put? Not developers, but just normal people build custom homes.
Yeah, my grandfather built.
That came off really weird.
My grandfather bought a plot of land on a lake and built himself a cottage, 2-story cottage around like 2,500 square feet. He built it all himself.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I would love to be able to build my own house. I have plans for what it would look like. Be amazing. I'd have a sunroom. That's a necessity. A sunroom that faces east.
Like old Wendy's restaurants.
Yes. That is exactly what I'm thinking. Yes. That is a fantastic comparison. If I could live in a Wendy's in 1993, I would do it in a heartbeat. That was the coolest layout of any restaurant. And some of the DQs later on followed that exact same model. of having the big solarium dining room. But yeah, Wendy's like was the OG of that. And anytime we went to Wendy's, we always sat in the sunroom. Yes. Hell yes, that was amazing. Oh my God. That is such a flashback of nostalgia. Thank you, Jeffrey. Definitely have to have a solarium in my house. Honestly, my house would look a lot like the Clue house.
Wasn't that just a giant mansion?
Yes. I'm not building a little tiny home here. I'm building a house.
I'll be honest. I think if I got to have any like luxury that was somewhat within reason, although it's still expensive at this moment in my life, I might pick a golf simulator.
I was going to say
Like,
golf
sure.
golf simulator. How much do you think a golf simulator cost, Tim?
The
Yeah.
real good ones,
Yeah,
like
like
not the
50K.
ones
What's
that
that?
say
50K.
like
50K.
That's probably
Maybe,
too
I
much. I think that's more than the cost, actually.
Oh.
Like, what would
it
you rather?
does seem like
what would you rather
half-
have? Half a heated driveway or a golf simulator?
Yeah, golf simulator. But I mean, golf simulator.
I'm one of these people that I mean, I don't have a room. I've got 2 young kids. The basement, I guess, is theirs. For the
Get a
moment.
variance and build an add-on.
Yeah, of course, and add the indoor pool. But I am of this hope when I'm ready for golf simulator that like the technology has come so far along that it's like just gets exponentially cheaper as we keep going every couple years ahead.
It will.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I know someone who built their own. Like, they got all the separate pieces and put
Rick
it in their
Gaiman?
garage. No, it wasn't Rick. It's like someone who lives around me. And he was able to cobble it all together for like 6-7 grand, but he knew how to get all the machines to talk to themselves. He had the space for it, installed everything himself. Something that none of us would be able to do.
I could not do that.
Like, I have the space for it right there. Just put a big golf simulator up on the wall right there. Move the desk back and boom, we could do it in the office.
That'd be sweet.
It would be. You're not invited.
Yes, I am.
Nope. Sorry.
So there's a burrito place by my house, and the place closes at 7:30.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I know. So if I show up at like 7:25,
Oh my God.
and I intend to eat my burrito in,
Uh-oh.
is there a problem? Now, let's
Yes.
say I leave a decent
Yes.
tip,
They're very clearly a problem.
because they're going to use that time once closed, like clean the floors or whatever. And it's like, if I give a good tip, is there a problem with me
Yes.
coming and eat? Because it seems to me the restaurant's open
much?
until 7:30.
How much is your tip?
30%?
How much?
30%?
30% on your $10, so $3.
Seems to me that if I come before it closes, and I'm not going to bother them, I'm not in anybody's way, I'm not going to prevent them from cashing off, I'm not going to prevent them from doing their end of day prep with the vegetables and the meats, and I'm not going to prevent them from cleaning the floors. I'm just going to sit in the corner and eat my burrito until I'm done, and then I'm going to leave. Is that a problem? In my mind, it's not a problem.
Wow.
But I'm curious as to, it was going through my mind last night. I was like, gee, should I be doing this?
Yeah, if put it this way, if even is an inclination to you that you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing it.
I'm
Because you walked in, I would tell you to fuck off and leave.
Well, then I would call the manager.
It's probably the man. A place that's closing at 5:30, 7:30 feels like it's owner operated.
Yeah, and then Tim Anderkaren would take to Google reviews to leave you a 1 star.
Well, just I don't want to be treated like that.
Well,
The
maybe you
seven-
should treat them with a modicum of respect too.
Well, I'm not showing up after hours. I'm showing up before. Just
But you
like,
you
don't
want
I
to
have
but
a
you
right to
but
eat
you
my
want
thing?
to you want to stay there after hours.
I'm not going to be that long.
Can I ask you a
It
question?
closes
When
it
you
closes
got-
at,
when
it
you
closes
got
at
there-
7:30 and you want to stay there past 7:30. To hassle anyone within like 20 minutes of a place closing and you're not going like in and out immediately, just bad form.
That was gonna be
seems
my-
arbitrary.
When you got there, were they already like cleaning up?
No, the people were leaning and talking.
Like, were they already sort of cleaning up the toppings area? And because I've been into one of Tim's favorite restaurants, a Subway, before, and it's so intimidating. You're like there 12 minutes, 15 minutes before closing, and they're essentially like already cleaning out the toppings, and I don't want to be here. Like, I'm bothering you. I'm a weirdo. I know it's weird of me to leave and not force them to cater me, but I'm not
forcing anyone to cater me. They're open until 7:30.
What
I understand.
I'm there.
Are you a
before
regular
7:30.
customer? Are you a regular customer?
What's
'Cause
regular? I like to go there every 2 weeks or so.
You like to brag that the people at the fast food places know you and
Oh, well, those
you.
people know me because I used to go every single day.
Yeah, I say it's bad form. If a place says they're like a place that's closing at 7:30 is probably so anal about it. Also, I would assume.
Additionally, they're not getting paid past 7:30. I hope you know that. Like, they might have to stay.
Sure, but
past
they're also
7:30.
not locking. They're not locking the doors and walking out the door at 7:30 either. I don't think I'm preventing them in any way, shape, or form from leaving when they would have already left.
Do you want them to lock the door at 7:30, but you can still be in there?
It feels mom and pop owner operated, like a burrito place that closes at 7:30.
It's weird hours. Certain days of the week it's later than others. But anyway, last night 7:30. I'm thinking, should I be here? And I was like, you know what?
No,
I ordered
was
it
the
before
answer.
time.
You should-
Once
gave
you
a
said,
tip.
you know what? Like, I
gave a tip.
gonna-
I'm not causing any ruckus.
When was the last time you gave a 30% tip, by the way?
It has been a while.
Why didn't you just go home? It's a burrito.
It's
I
fine.
like to eat it hot and fresh.
It's by your house. How long would it have taken you to get home? 2 minutes?
5.
Oh,
By the time I get upstairs into the apartment and then unwrap it, and probably 5 minutes. But you know what? I prefer to eat in when I can. I don't like to bring
go
food.
earlier. You just have no respect for service workers.
I was at the gym, and I hadn't finished up yet.
what are you doing? Are you like cracking out a book, a newspaper? Like, what do you?
I
up
use
to?
my phone and I read. I'm usually on a subreddit, reading some Reddit that amuses me, or on the Twitters. And I'm like, I'm not causing a mess or a problem. They can do all their cleanup. They can do all their prep. I'm not preventing it in any way.
Well, they have to clean
And they're
up
going to
after
get out of there.
What time you out of there by?
I think I was out of there by 10 to 8 at the latest.
Oh my God! You say 20
that's-
minutes past closed?
Yeah, maybe it was 1:45, but I think it was closer to 10 to by the time I got out of there.
I would have said if you're out of there by 7:40, to me that's totally legit. But yeah, maybe 7:45.
Because
Then what's 5 more minutes? We're splitting hairs at that point.
They can't. I just, if you're going somewhere at 7:25 to order food and it closes at 7:30, you're fucked to begin with, pal.
Well, I'm hungry, and it closes at 7:30, and that's what I want.
Maybe you should have planned it a little bit better. And look,
I was at the gym, and I
go get a
wasn't
burrito.
breaking.
Go get a burrito somewhere else.
But I like this place.
Well, have you tried all the other places?
I've tried other places, but this place does it the way I like.
Well,
And I'm sort of a snob about my burritos.
yeah, you're also a snob because you don't consider the poor time of the workers.
Well, no, I gave a good tip.
You didn't. You did. I asked you when the last time you tipped 30% on anything was, and you said it's been a while. So obviously you didn't do it
Before yesterday, yeah. No, it was
How
like
much?
yesterday,
How much
not
was the
a week.
burrito?
13 bucks.
Was it a cash tip or a virtual tip?
The debit tip.
You make sure they notice. Like,
Here's your 370.
notice.
I'm gonna stick around. And oh yeah, you also have to wait for me to leave so you can clean the table I'm just fucking eating at.
I wasn't making a mess at that
You
table.
really? Oh really? You don't think they have to clean when you leave at the end of the night at a
How
table
long
that
does
was
it
just in
take
use?
to clean a table I'm at? while
As
I'm
long
not
as you
making a
have to
mess?
fucking sit there and they have to wait for you
All
to
right.
finish in order to like this is so ridiculous.
Then they should have a sign up saying
I
no
just
orders past 7:15. Then
I want to play devil's advocate for Tim for a moment. In that, if he could be out of there by 7:45,
No.
yes, you're delaying that cleanup by 15 minutes, but he can start cleaning somewhere else. Like,
yes, exactly.
it's
I
not
don't
like
think
he
they get
has-
out any later.
he can still like work his rotation, just maybe flip one thing around until this customer who's lollygagging and shouldn't be here leaves while he's reading his Reddit.
If the store closes at 7:30, you better believe they probably don't leave on a routine basis till 8:00. And I haven't delayed that in any
It's
way.
closed. You're in there. Get the fuck out. Quit
But I was there
quit
before it
delaying
closed.
these
It's like-
people. Oh, so you're grandfathered into the closing time?
I actually think that I am.
No, you're not. It's closed.
Like there's a time that they're open until, and if I'm there before they're closed and I want
Groceries-
service,
grocery stores and like some big box stores like a Walmart, they do go by the grandfathering in process.
Of course they do, because I was there before the door closed. It's like if you go on election day, if you're in line before the polls close, you have the right to vote.
But mom and pop, owner operated, I don't know, closing at 7:30, like that.
They
means
want to
they're
turn
so
away they want to turn away my business. If it's mom and pop operated, isn't there even more incentive to have every customer possible in this marketplace making a purchase? Like, I remember that I was treated well last night. I'll be back.
Okay, so good. You know what? I don't really hate it, but
Thank you.
staying till 7:50 seems like you really.
Well, I'm not going to rush. I'm not rushing my burrito just to get out the
just
door.
because they're closed.
I'm not rushing, but I mean, I'm taking undue time either. It takes me about 20 minutes to eat a burrito.
How does it take you 20 minutes to eat a burrito?
Well, I don't snarf it down in 5 bites. I take my time about things.
He's reading his Reddit on the.
I am reading, and I am reading.
And like, what are they going to do?
Eating his burrito with a knife and fork.
No, I don't do that. But
On
I
the-
do. No, I don't do that.
On the topic of tipping, because it's always delivery guy, you tip, comes to your door, the food delivery. Why have we been able to? How have we gotten away with not having to tip like the Amazon guy? And should we be?
No, we could do with a lot less tipping. I think we have tip for everything.
I actually think we could. Yeah, I feel the same way. Like this burrito place is a good example. Like, should I be tipping someone who makes my sandwich for me?
Well, if you want them to
Like,
leave
you
the
don't tip
store,
when you do takeout.
if you want to eat there when it's closed, then probably.
Well, like no, fair enough. But like growing up, no one tipped at Subway. You don't tip at Tim Hortons. You don't tip as a rule at Tim Hortons or McDonald's. Like, where is the line where it's appropriate or not appropriate to tip? I don't know. I actually have no idea where the line is anymore.
But why am I tipping the guy delivering my food? Is that going back to the guy running, like doing the car rounds? But I'm not tipping the guy.
That's a fair point.
Who's carrying like a big box to my, not like a huge or heavy box, but I don't know. It's more than a pizza, but I'll happily tip.
You're
the
right.
pizza
If
guy.
someone delivers my couch, I don't tip them. But if they deliver me Chinese food, I give them a tip. I don't know why I do that.
Oh, I definitely grease the guy, bring the couch to bring it where I need it, though.
Oh yeah,
They would do that anyway.
Couple extra on that, but I think
Yeah.
it's really different depending on what culture you're from too. Like, I don't know, it's always best to research, like when you're traveling, of what the tipping culture is in the place that you're going to go, because like when I was in Europe, like you don't tip anyone, and the tipping culture in Canada, even versus the U.S., well, it's very similar, isn't quite the same because everyone, especially like service workers in restaurants or bars in the United States, really they pay those people like $2 an hour. Like they make all their money on tips. In Canada, like everyone gets minimum wage plus the tips in those places. So it feels like the tipping shouldn't be equivalent, although it does seem to be. And most of these places, especially like you mentioned, Subway, I always just hit 0 and no tip for stuff like that. But basically since the pandemic started and everything went virtual and cashless, everything just props up. Like, what's the minimum tip you can leave? Oh, 18% on every purchase.
Yeah, I've noticed that on a lot of
really?
things. You got to go out of your way to put the 0 down. And like, I don't want to put the 0 down, but I'm wondering if if I'm at Subway and I put a good tip, am I going to get an extra meatball on my sub? Maybe.
No.
Are they going to make sure they look at, or am I going to like?
They're not going to look after you at Subway for leaving a tip on anything because you pay after the shit is made.
That is a good point. That is a very good point. So I'm thinking more like the places where you pay first.
Are there a lot of places that you pay first?
Yeah, quite a few off the top of my head I can think of where you actually do pay first. Like these aren't fast food, but they're like fast order restaurants. Like some people take out, some people eat in. Like they're not like the classic fast food, but they're at the same time like not a traditional sit-down restaurant either.
Well, what has happened, Jeff, is that because it's no different than when the person at either like Whole Foods or whatever supermarket that you go to and you talk to them, they're like, hey, would you like to donate $2 on top of your bill to whatever, or that pops up on your self-checkout screen. The tipping on the machine, once you get it at these places where you're not normally used to tipping, I think people are too cowardly to say no. So it's just
yes, absolutely they are.
It's just extra money for the restaurant. If it was me and I was doing it, I was running the restaurant, I would most definitely have the tipping up there with 20% as the minimum you can buy. Because some people have too much pride to say no.
Agreed.
So you're just fleecing them.
Like I say no to these things sometimes.
Do
Doesn't
you?
bother me.
Do you say no?
Sometimes. Like it depends what it is, right? If they ask me at McDonald's if I run a round up my order for the Ronald McDonald Charity House, yeah, sure. What's 50 cents? It goes to a good cause.
When is it not a good cause? Like it's all just a children's.
Well,
charity
sometimes
or a
no, because
hospital.
sometimes it's just a tip. It's not for charity.
And
like-
if you're at a Subway, what do you suppose the chances are if I leave a $4 tip that the owner isn't just taking that $4 and none of it goes to the employees?
Well, I actually think there's probably a reasonable chance that
you
it's
sure?
not just completely stolen by the employee by the owner. Yeah.
I am positive that there's more places, maybe not, but there's a high percentage of places that are just pooling that money for themselves.
Maybe, but that seems like theft. I don't know how often that's happening.
Well, is it theft?
I'm sure don't doubt that it is, I suppose, but then all the more reason to tip in cash, I suppose.
Yeah, like to tip in cash, at least you know the person would get it. Like, is it theft, though, if you leave a tip on a Subway transaction? Like, isn't that technically the owner's money? You put it into the machine.
Yeah, but everybody knows why you're leaving a tip. You're not leaving a tip for the person who owns 17 Subways in the city.
Sure, but I don't think
They're doing all right.
I don't think that's explicitly stated by law. Like if you
I don't know.
If you didn't
I don't
pay,
know.
If you didn't pay that money out, I don't think that you could be thrown in jail for stealing people's money. I mean, maybe you can. I don't know, but that would be like first thought on it. Paul, you had something to say?
I don't know.
Forgot what it was? All right. So, Tim, stop staying in places that are closed.
Well, no, Jeff's with me. If it's 15 minutes or so, it's fine if you're not causing problems.
I'm sorry, the entitlement brothers over here just want what they want, right? Doesn't matter about
No,
other
look,
people.
I actually think that there's a big difference between like going to a restaurant where you're going to be given a complete meal and it's going to be like an extra hour plus and they have to serve you because you got there before closing, and like 10, 15, 20 minutes extra, and that doesn't delay anybody from getting out of there at their usual time if you got there early. I actually think there is a distinction to be made there.
If you go in that late to order food, get the fuck out of there. Just take it to go home. Eat it in your car.
Well, that's your opinion. I don't want to do that.
Well,
It is pretty pretentious to be like, I'm going to go here beyond your times. I forbid to be rushed.
Well, I'm not going to be rushed. I did spend my
go
money on it.
home.
No, I'm allowed to eat there. They have tables.
But
I'm not going to be like there for an hour. I'm going to be there for like 15, 20
wouldn't it be
minutes. And then I'll be gone.
uncomfortable eating there while the
No, not at
employees
all.
giving you the stink eye the whole time?
Not at all. Because I'm not doing anything that's worthy of. I mean, if they want, no, it doesn't. That doesn't bother me.
Jeff, do you think that Tim would notice if someone was standing around giving him the stink eye? Or would he just be reading Reddit on his phone?
Probably not.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's get to the props for the Super Bowl that we're going with here. I do want to
Oh
make...
God!
Oh.
How dare you?
Oh, it's a normal can, not one of those giant cans like Tim uses.
Oh, and it's a mini one to you.
No, it's not mini.
You're
That's
monster.
that is a regular can. It's not a king.
You're a monster.
It's not a king size can. Oh,
Mini can. See, it says right there, mini can, right on the
I
box.
want you to know, Tim, I was
right
at
on the box.
I was at the grocery store and these are in like full position
Of
now.
course they are. Of course they are.
They're in full position. They know it's a party week, and it was flattering to see Justin Herbert as one of like the 6 players on the Frito-Lay's
Yeah,
chip.
but so was Tua.
Maybe, but okay, fine. You're
Don't
right.
worry, I noticed it too. Don't you worry, I noticed it too.
It's a step for me. I'm not usually on those sorts of things. Period. But yeah, the normal size can is great. It's great for the parties. So
Stop it.
and they're out in
Stop it.
full force.
The box literally says mini on it.
Yeah, but they're positioned like
I
this
think
is-
I still have a case of DCs for the Super Bowl.
No,
do?
but they're positioned, Tim. They're positioned in the store like this is the can. We
Oh, I'm
want you
aware.
to
This
buy.
is what This is what I was complaining about a month or two ago, and it's an outrage. It's an absolute unmitigated disaster. If I were there and saw it, and like the manager were there, I would complain to the store manager. Why is this out here?
I could see you changing the shelves, like putting like doing all the pallet lifting.
Like I would be upset, and I'm upset just thinking about it because it just confirms what I already believed, that there's no respect for the fans who drink the normal size cans. Instead, it's all trying to preach the product to the Johnny come lately. Oh, I'm just going to have my 230 mils so I feel better about myself.
No,
Get a real can like a real person.
No, it's a great
Drink
little
these mini
squish of
cans.
soda. It's a perfect
It's
amount.
trash.
It's
Trash.
an ideal amount of soda.
Trash shouldn't be allowed.
Paul, go to the wide shot for a second. Can you pass me that box over there that a Cody Locker, so lawn car, sorry, sent this in as a present for Tim. So Tim, Paul has your flat of DCs here for the Super Bowl, which he paid you to stop cursing. You can walk in front of the camera. That's all good. It's okay.
Happened before.
No, I don't need the DCs. I need the box. The one that says, yeah, his flat is right there. Yeah, that's in the back end. It's right to your left. It's a box. It says fragile on it. It's literally right next to you. That's it. A gift was sent in from a listener, Tim, for you.
Oh, no.
So you have something that you can use on Super Bowl. It does come with qualifications, though. Dear Cust, I gift you my Batman. I gift you one of my Batman Forever cups as a peace offering. I have two conditions. When this is worth millions, as you predict it will be, I will be allowed to buy fractional shares of my cup back. 2, don't say anything good about the New Orleans Saints. Don't let your dad throw this one way. Bye-bye, Cody L.
Wow.
That is so sweet. That is so sweet of him to offer. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Now there is
Thank you.
Now, there is a funny story about this because Cody tried to send me one before, but the moment that he put it into the box, it shattered.
Oh. But he had another one. And so really he's giving me two, really. That is so nice. Yeah, I really don't have any opinions on the New Orleans Saints either, so he's lucky about that.
Super lucky, I suppose. You can probably drink one of those DCs that has your name on them out of the Batman Forever mug.
Well, no, not with my name on it. They're probably gone stale now. But, I don't mind taking a photo once. Pop goes stale. It does.
You wouldn't drink that? You wouldn't drink your CUST branded Diet Coke?
I have no problem with you taking a photo of me on Super Bowl Sunday of me drinking DC right out of that mug. I support that.
So do you want it to be filled from the bottle, like the glass bottle that we have, or one of your king-size cans?
Stop. First, king-size cans, you don't even know what you're talking about. Coke doesn't make king-size cans. That's a Pepsi thing. There's regular cans of what Coke makes.
Well, no.
Make the slender cans, too, which are also kind of neat.
What you call a regular can is a king-size can. We've been over
No, it's not. There are actual cans. Again, this is all gaslighting to the highest degree. Jeff brings up the GD box that says a mini can on it. And I'm told, those aren't mini cans.
Yeah, but that's Pepsi.
And then you're saying
but those are
King's cans.
But those are Pepsi. You just said that.
Pepsi also has King cans, too, which are like the size of like they're like 700 milliliters.
Okay,
I'm an expert on this.
I'm just
okay?
calling them king size cans. I think we call them jumbo cans, giant cans,
just
whatever you want to call them.
Regular cans.
No, the regular cans are
the
regular cans are the ones at the size that Jeff had. Those are the popular ones.
It says they're not popular. They're so unpopular that they've got to put them in front of the store next to Justin Herbert to sell.
Well, based on your logic with every other product, if they're at the front of the store, that means they're really popular. Now that has been your argument for every other product.
They're trying to make them They're trying to make them popular because people like me see things at the front of the store and buy.
Did you stare down Tua on the display or what?
Yeah, I looked at it for a moment, annoyed, and I was like, "What are you doing there?" So. This is real mini because, it's not the real mini ones because the season itself is over. But I've started to shave with one of those old-timey brushes. And let me tell you, it makes all the difference in the world. One of those brushes, that have a handle with the horsehair or whatever that you rub around in the soap. You don't get your hands all gucky when you're shaving. You can paint your whole face with this brush. It leads to much better, smoother shaves. You use better soaps than that cheap shaving cream that the Barbasol you're taking off the shelf. Just here to give you some advice that, like, if you can buy one of those old timey shaving brushes, like, it makes a world of difference to your happiness.
Are you talking about like when you go to the barber and they shave your neck and they pull out the thing and then you're not talking about like shaving with it. You're talking about spreading the shaving cream with it.
It's like what you lather the shaving cream
Yeah,
on
it's
your
one of those
face.
handheld brushes. Yeah, those big brushes, and you like lather your face with it. It does a great job.
Well, thanks.
And
That's a great tip.
the other thing, well, I was going to give you that tip. I mean, I was going to ask. I mean, you sort of like gave it out to the public last night, I see. So it's sort of no longer a surprise as to whether I was obligated to. It was a snowstorm here, and if I were to order takeout, what are the rules with tipping on snowstorms? And you think it's 100%.
Based
The
on
more I thought about that, the more I think that's a ridiculous take.
All right, well, what do you think, Jeff? And to put some qualifications, we had like a blizzard here overnight that Tim didn't have groceries and didn't feel comfortable enough to drive 3 minutes to go to the grocery store.
The police said
outside.
not to be out on the roads.
Okay. So Tim must be down so bad because sorry. Because I feel like when this situation has come up before is why he's confessed to he's eaten like 2 sleeves of Oreos for dinner or just bacon bits because he cited a blizzard.
I got
So he
nothing.
must have been barren out.
Like, we're talking about nothing but condiments in the fridge.
I mean, you once ate a bowl of bacon, of processed bacon bits as a meal.
That did happen. That did happen. That was a long time ago.
Like, wouldn't this
that
be?
did happen.
I mean, do you still have that half-off frozen cake in your freezer?
I ended up taking out some cream of wheat and boiling and making that, and throwing some old raisins in it. And that's what I had for supper last night. Was a bowl of cream of wheat with raisins.
So Foss oatmeal,
Yeah.
less fun.
Paul,
Certainly less fun. It wasn't a party.
Paul has something to chime in here.
I think if you order off of Uber Eats, like those people are not forced to work at that point in time. So they want the work whether there's a blizzard or not.
I think it's just common courtesy. It's not like CUST is ordering a $250 meal and then matching the $250. He's trying to order like a burrito for $11.
No,
Give
I was going to
$11.
get some Thai food. I'm
Okay.
not doubling that, though.
Okay, so
Oh, I'm
I
sorry,
would-
Tim. You can't spare the $20. We know you can.
I don't want to.
Well, I'm sorry
I think
that
you need
you're
to-
too scared to leave your house and you want someone to bring it to you. It just sounds
The
right.
authorities recommend that you
Hold
don't
on.
leave your house.
you got to go just a couple things. I think there's a couple like fair rules. Maybe you must, like for etiquette, order something that might not even be nearly your favorite or what you're craving, but something that's close by. So this guy might not have to go a long time. I totally agree with Tim. In the Uber economy, they know exactly what they're doing. If they're out there, they want the surcharges. It's like the same guys that are working New Year's or Halloween night or whatever that bullshit is. So it's an economy that's aware of this, but it goes without saying you must just, I don't think tipping 100%, but tipping above and beyond, I think is common courtesy.
but you're
And
forgetting-
I
I
don't
tipped
think-
above and beyond. I tipped above and beyond last week, and I was chastised.
You
for it.
you give him fucking $3.
30%.
Yeah, but
That's why I say because
Exactly.
whatever you're getting isn't super expensive. That's why it's $100. That's why it's 100% match on this.
I
To
see
make it
what
like
Pat's point.
yeah, if it's gonna be $15, give him $15. Give him $10 then. Not be like, oh, I'm tipping big. I'm tipping 30%. Here's your $2.75. Like, fuck off.
I agree with Pat here. When you're ordering something that's $10 and you think leaving $2.75 makes you a big shot in a snowstorm, you're not. You're right. That's probably got to be like 7, 6. I don't know. Double that. Yeah, at least I think.
And we know
Oh, that's highway robbery. I won't pay it.
well. We also
And
know
you don't have to.
Hold on. You mentioned that in like the Uber, DoorDash, whatever it is economy, that they're actively out there. And I do agree with you on that. I would still tip them really well if they came to my house. But we all know that Tim doesn't use Uber Eats or DoorDash or Skip the Dishes.
This is true.
So the person that's going to be delivering whatever he brings is an employee who is at the restaurant already that now actively has to leave. They're there until whatever time their shift is over. So they wouldn't have to go do anything. They would still get paid for being on the clock, for being out there. So that argument doesn't hold any water to me.
I mean,
just
it's
wanted,
true. I was
for
not
the
going
record,
to
not
use.
to be not to be on Team Tim. That was a bad look. That's it.
You think it's a bad look
Last
from
year,
No, I think like you should tip a lot, but like yeah, like he doesn't use Uber Eats, so yeah, he's calling up like the pizza store
Yeah.
where like they're forcing some 17-year-old kid out in a blizzard out the door. It's like you should definitely tip more on these types of nights. I don't know if you have. To
Well,
do
there's a difference between
100%,
more.
but,
I don't
like,
mind tipping more, but like I was being recommended to tip 100%. I won't pay those prices.
and
Well, then you should get up off of your couch and go pick
Go
up the
get
food for yourself. Then
It's too snowy, and I am
But
not
it's
comfortable
well,
going
it's
out
too
in that
snowy
type
for
of
the
weather.
other people, though.
you said the police have advised people to stay off the road, which is why you won't go out, but you want someone else to chaperone your food to you in conditions the police are saying don't go outside.
Well, yeah, but they say don't go outside unless you're there for work. Those people are there for work.
Some man of the people.
I wouldn't be out for work.
Okay,
But they would be
so-
out for work.
Going back quickly to last week, like I'm just one of those people. I would feel so awkward to even think the guy that is giving me a dirty look as I'm staying past late, closing whatever, eating in. When I hurt my knee last year, I ordered a lot of Uber Eats. Like there's no doubt I had surgery on my knee. I can't go anywhere. I'm home all the time. Whatever. And I would always it's a very Seinfeld thing, I guess, what I'm about to say. But every time the guy came and it was bad weather, because it happened during the winter, I'd make sure that he saw I'm here on crutches, or I'd have my brace on just to see oh yeah, this guy's helpless. I am delivering him his food and he has no other choice. I'm a weirdo like that though. But
Basically, you wanted to make him feel like he worked for Meals on Wheels, and you were a recipient of that.
No, then I am not just the biggest, even though I have tendencies that would lead you to believe that, I'm not the laziest guy ever. I would go these 10 blocks, 5 blocks, distances, sometimes even walking or in my car. I just don't
understand why, just because it's bad weather, why that means I automatically have to pay more money out of my pocket for the same thing if it was a nice day.
It's courtesy.
Do you
man.
really not see the difference?
Not a lot more, no.
So now you
If someone
so hold
goes
on now.
above and
Yeah, go ahead, Jeff.
it's like if someone went through something to deliver something for you, or it's just common sense. It's that's worth more than the standard summer day driver. I don't even know how that. I don't know whether you're now just doing a shtick.
A little bit more, but not double. Not double. I shouldn't be
when
paying.
When the tip is $2.50 and you think you're a big shot because you gave 25%.
I don't look at the numbers. I look at the percentages. I don't know what I'm tipping dollar wise. I look at the percentages.
But it doesn't mean anything to the guy.
If my meal is going to be $24, then I would consider to me 10. That's the max.
And you think you're off the hook because you put $3 in a tip jar at a burrito place past closing?
Yes.
What's that work out to? 17 cents an employee? The guys that are there give a shit.
Go ahead, Jack. Go ahead. Continue to guilt me. I shouldn't have patronized that place at all. They would have been happier if I hadn't patronized the restaurant.
No,
They would have been happier if you fucking left.
No. You have the right. I'm just saying that tip doesn't make you free of it doesn't offset what the employees would feel. To Pat's point, this only kind of makes sense if the order is so big where the number can make the guy feel good. And you're not here to make anyone feel good. I get it, but no,
that's not true. I just don't see why it needs to be exorbitant. $1 or $2 extra because of troubles. I guess that's fine. It's reasonable.
$1 or $2 in this economy? If a guy just went through a mission for you?
A mission. Okay. Well, so in the end, I decided this was all too thorny, and I just didn't order at all.
You went to bed hungry. I did last night also.
Oh, I didn't go to bed hungry. I just went to bed not as satisfied as I would have otherwise been.
He defrosted his cake and ate that for dinner.
No, I didn't do that. I ate cream of wheat with some old raisins.
Well, nature's best candy.
So
it's fine.
It was a guy I have a question here. You seem like a very for all your quirkiness, you seem like you're on a very like Tim and his ways and his schedule. How does your place get totally barren like that?
Because I didn't buy food because I knew I'd be out for dinner on Sunday because of the Super Bowl. And I knew I was going to be out to dinner on Saturday because mom and dad were cooking something. And I knew that I wasn't having dinner at home on Friday
So
because I
you've
was
had like
going
a
out.
big grocery store mission. Like
So-
once we're done recording here, you better not get in any fights.
Okay. Ha 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 ha. No, I actually have something I have to go house sit this evening. So I'm not going to be able to cook this. So, like, anyway, that's why I'm so low on groceries because I was going to be like away from my house for like 6 or 7 days in the evening at supper time. So, like,
I'm
So,
shocked
yeah.
that you don't have any like frozen reserve food, regardless of what it is. Like
I can't
Where's
keep it
your
in the
egg?
house
Where's
or
the-
no, I can't keep it in the house or I'll eat it all.
Hungry Man's? Isn't
No,
that
I
your
can't. I
jam?
can't keep them in the house anymore. I'll eat them all. They'd be gone. And if I can microwave you in 3 minutes, then it's gone. So I can't have it.
That's coming back to bite you now, unfortunately, because that would be
It is.
That
I
would
got-
be the thing. Like
I
have
got-
some frozen fish or something in your freezer, and just,
No,
in case
no,
of
well,
emergency.
that's terrible for you. Might as well just eat Big Mac or eat frozen fish, unless it's like I'm assuming you mean like fish sticks.
No, I don't mean fish sticks. I'm not 4 years old.
Well, when people say frozen fish, most people think you mean like Highliner.
Do they, or is that what
I'm just-
you think?
Both.
No, it's not.
I'm just picturing the most depressing, like from the movies, fridge. That
Oh, it is. It is. It's exactly the when you open the door is full of stuff because that's where all the condiments is. But the shelves and the crisper, there ain't nothing in there right now. It's empty. I think there's like literally nothing on the shelves.
I'm shocked you don't have like we always have like an excess of meat in our freezer, like ground beef, steak, whatever, chicken, whatever it may be.
I don't like when possible to eat stuff from like my meats from frozen. Like
You
I'd
thaw-
rather
you-
have them
you-
fresh if I'm going to buy it.
You realize you thaw them out, right? You don't cook them frozen.
That's also I don't really know how to do that.
What?
I have to be honest. I don't really know how to like. I know you.
Oh,
I
you
don't know how to do it.
thaw something?
Well, I mean, yeah, you could leave it on the counter for hours and hours
Yes.
and hours and hours.
Yeah.
But like, there's like a defrost way to do it in the microwave. I
No,
don't know how to do
just
it.
leave it
Ugh.
out. Just leave it out, and it will.
Okay, well, that's no good to you when you're like it's 5 o'clock and you want to eat and it's friggin' frozen.
Well, then you can put it in some water. Put it in some cold water in your sink and make sure it stays submerged, and it'll be done in like an hour.
Anyway, I don't usually when I buy stuff from the delis like meats or whatever, I like to eat them fresh.
Well, if you're going to the deli, sure.
Not when I say the deli, I mean like the meat counter or whatever. Like when you pick up the whatever frozen meat, the ground beef or the steak or the pork cutlets or whatever. I don't really care to freeze and then defrost.
You really do seem like a prime candidate for HelloFresh or Good Food or whatever it might be. Chef's Plate.
I've done I've tried the HelloFresh and it's fine, but it's too expensive. It's not worth it.
I mean, my wife and I get it every single week. It's good for 3 meals. I think it's $55 after tax.
Yeah, it's a little too expensive.
That's for 2 of us.
Yeah, I just find it's pricier than it needs to be. I can cook really good stuff cheaply if I want to.
Really?
I'm good at that.
Give us your best discount recipe and walk us through it, please.
Oh, I mean, I can just buy a couple of russet potatoes, an onion, some ground beef, and some carrots. That a little bag of those baby carrots. Cook it all together and cook them separately or hash them. It's really cheap. It's delicious. It's healthy for you.
You're eating
Great.
ground beef and potatoes mixed together?
Not ground beef, ground meat. I usually buy the ground pork or ground turkey.
Okay. And it actually sounds pretty good. I would eat that.
Yeah, it's delicious. Ground beef is too greasy and it's not great for you. I'd rather have my ground beef in a hamburger. I don't want it as loose.
Oh, you get some extra lean ground beef. You need to get that extra protein, pal.
I can get enough protein from the turkey or the chicken or the pork that's ground up.
All right. Anything else, Chef?
Or hard-boiled eggs.
Jeff, you got nothing? Nothing to ask Tim?
No, not off the top of my head.
Did you see, Jeff, that another person on the Mayo media experience likes to use wing gloves?
I don't know whether he's trolling you or not.
I
but
don't think he is.
Knowing Pizzola, like that actually might be something he adopts is the wing glove. Like he's very
It's really smart.
OCD and clean, and I don't know whether he's trolling, but I know him enough that it wouldn't shock me if that was actually something he brings into his future wing eating endeavors.
You should. Wing eating that's the right way to eat wings.
So
you don't want your
bring
hands
gloves?
greasy.
You brought gloves to the Super Bowl party?
No, I didn't need to. We had ribs, but I was very strategic. With ribs, if you just hold the end where the bone is, because they were already pre-cut for us, you don't really get your hands all gunked up if you just hold the little bone at the end.
Well, someone did point out, and I forgot to bring it up on the show that I did with Pizzola and Cam, is that you can eat chicken wings with one hand and just have the other hand free, and then it doesn't get
Yes,
dirty.
if I'm eating ones, for whatever reason, if I'm eating sauced ones, I make sure I only eat them with one hand. I keep the other hand clean and dry.
I've never seen you do that because I don't think you're coordinated enough to do that.
I don't understand how people use two hands to eat a chicken wing. It seems like that's a lot of unnecessary work.
But what is the issue with
It's like the people who use two hands to eat a burger. Like, I've never actually done that.
Really?
Just hold it in one hand.
I don't know if I've done that.
You
assume I
got
have.
one hand on the wheel. You get one hand on your Duke's burger.
You're
and you're eating it on the way home.
You're talking about eating a McDonald's burger. If you're eating let's
Yeah.
say some sort of, you go to a decent restaurant and they give you a large burger that's like double legit patty, not double patties that are this thin. Then you're gonna eat it like this.
a classic burger joint, like an old school burger joint that has like their famous homemade burger that's a two-hander. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm trying to imagine. I think I would just pick it up with one.
You don't need it's not required, but that's not
You don't want everything to fall out of it.
totally
That's fine.
crazy.
That's why
I don't know.
if it falls out of it, you just eat it off the plate.
What's the thing with the wing on the glove? You're just afraid of washing your hands.
You don't want to get your hands all sticky and greasy and gunked up because you want to use your phone for if you have in-game bets to make.
You eat
Yeah,
five
but-
wings. You wash your hands.
Yeah, I
you
mean,
use your napkins.
At
Like,
least
I don't
with
know.
at least with Pizzola, he had the reason of he needs to make live bets during these games. Cuss doesn't do that.
I want to see what's going on in my Menchies.
I love the I must need the live.
He does, though. I appreciate that. I mean, everyone has their different reasons for why they don't want their hands
but
in their
yours
phone
is completely unnecessary.
covered. You just want to treat your phone like it's a piece of construction
I
paper
can-
in kindergarten that's full of fingerprints
I
and
can
paint
put
and gunk.
down
I
my
don't.
phone for 2 minutes and not check it, unlike you apparently, because you legitimately have no reason to be on it.
I don't understand. I just don't understand it. The only reason I could think of is if you're environmentally conscious, because I'll burn through a lot of napkins, or we usually go to PTs, right? Wings are a paper towel or a wet nap, for a closer sort of thing, but a heavy dosage.
You just don't want to get your hands dirty. A lot of people don't. It's just like a lot of people don't like getting their hands dirty.
Cust and Howard Hughes, one and the same. Just little soft weirdos.
No, Rob is on my side too.
Yeah, you're going to say tough as nails Rob Pizzola?
I think he is pretty tough.
Oh, yeah, we're a super tough guy. Cam's out here calling him fucking Star Trek.
The little wing, there's someone showed like little things you can put on the end of your fingers, like hold the wings.
That's
It's like
even,
really smart.
that's even softer.
So what's that, a roach clip of eating wings?
Sort of like Lebowski in the car. Yeah, sort of.
Mayo experience. Experience.